Let's do this, grinders! He's here, baby. He's here.
That the brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. London boy, but DC where I reside now. Put the time in while you always yelling time out. And for quit it, cause I know I'm coming with it. You were sitting, you were wishing I was handling my business. Now I got the ball like Harry Potter playing Quidditch. And my business is humongous, you would think that happens in there. Oh man, I'm all that, yeah, I'm all that. Looking for that whip, yeah, that what you call that. I'ma blow up in the summer, have them yelling fall back. And I've always been ahead like an effing ball cap. Man, I came in the game like, whoa. Got a couple chains on me cause I like gold. They told me I'm the best and I told them I know. Cause when I'm in your town, every ticket I sold. Yeah, this ain't on the man. Facts, bro, facts. Lot of haters, tell me where they at though. I'm the new pop, all I do is rap though. Want me on your song, throw a couple stats, yo. Everybody wanna do the same thing. That's why we ain't on the same page. Do my own thing and I maintain. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah, I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah. Going mainstream. Damn. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Woo. I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream.
What's up, grinders? How you doing out there? How's everybody doing? Shout out to everybody coming on in. I am sorry for being late to the show. Yeah, I had to set up some more things and making sure everything works. So hopefully the audio is coming through. Hopefully, I know people are angry. People are angry that, yeah, I'm sorry, grinders. I am sorry. Yeah, but I'll shout. Yeah, I appreciate the patience and appreciate, hanging in there with that. Shout out to RPG Gaming gifting a member coming on in. I wasn't even here, and he gifted a member. Shout out to you. Thank you so much, RPG88, for your generous giving a VIP out. And definitely we have a show for you. Frogz is coming on in. Frogz, how you doing? How was your weekend, man? I got snowed in. All right, I was shoveling. The grindhouse was on ice.
No, pretty good, man. Just not too bad. A little wet. Florida's always wet, but for the most part, pretty good.
That's good, man. Shout out to you, man. Yeah, it was like I must have shoveled 3 times. They said we can get 2 to 4 inches. I wound up getting like 8 inches, and I was like, pause. They a full 9 inch. Oh, yeah, that's what I got. Man. Dude, I was like shoveling 4 and 5 times. It's crazy. I feel bad for those that get. So you got
Phil Nest,
dude. All 8 inches. Phil Nest came in there. They said one thing. Goddamn weatherman, his name was Phil. I was like, oh man, don't trust the Phil. Sorry. if people don't fill out there. Shout out to Mary Wilcox. I'd like to do a shout out to everybody coming on here. Shout out to Mary Wilcox. Shout out to Clay Moore's Leach, Mr. Tennis, Jeff B Gaming. Shout out to the VIP Grinder there. Mary Wilcox VIP, Joe Rowe, Holm, PS Gamer, Bitrate, Primal Plasma. What's up? How you doing? Tool Man. Tools in the house. We got the tools here. We got Ryan. We got Christopher Duran. We got the Clay Moores. We got Marino, LM. What's up? John Wayne is in here. Oh my goodness. He's asking where I was.
Oh, we got John Wayne?
Yeah, John Wayne asking where I was. Shout out to John Wayne. Shout out to RPG88, giving that gift member as well. Thank you for being here. Robert Lawrence, shout out to you, man. Who else we got in here? We got James Williams. We got Twisted Sync. What's up, Twisted? How you doing, man? Big Raz. Oh, that's deep. He said, oh man. He goes, that's deep. If that's the right pitch, I don't even know. I have another man. I'm changing my setup every freaking day. What's up, Leaky G? How you doing, man? Ryan, how's everything going? I want to make sure I got here. I got to do this, and so it's been wild. As you can see from the topics, man, it's been kind of crazy. Some announcements, some things coming in, some fallout from the stuff, and I'm glad Frogz is here because what's up, Neil? How you doing, man? Hit that like button, everybody, as you're coming on in here. The warm fire here. If you're ice cold on ice, hopefully the fires of the gaming grindhouse keep you warm, and the entertainment keeps the flow going. But anyway, Frog, there was I didn't get you on you were busy, and I did my impressions of the direct that went, the developer direct that went down. What were your initial impressions? It's not on the grinds board, but definitely what were your impressions of that show? Because I know you were out and then you were watching it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. So they showed, let's see, 4 or 5 games, I think.
5 games.
They showed the Val. So they showed the Val. They showed Indiana Jones, some strategy game. What was the other game? A mana game, and there's one more, I think. Hellblade.
Yeah.
So let's start with Hellblade. So I thought Hellblade was the best looking game there, but I also thought they didn't show enough combat, and that's what I want to see more of. From what they're saying, it's a digital only game. It's $49. It's the same length as the first one. That surprised me.
Right? The fact that they said that.
A, because I thought it was a bigger project. B, because in my personal opinion, how they're showing this game, it's like, I like the first one a lot, but how they're showing this game doesn't give me really big anticipation for the second one. A lot of people, and I said again, this is a PlayStation supported title first. It came to Xbox second, and a lot of people that I want so bad to call these fake ass gamers out, but I won't do it because I don't even want to give them. I've seen Mr. some of the fake
Yellow Chair.
It's beyond Mr. Yellow Chair. They're on planets, and all I can say is they're fake. They're fake as shit. You didn't I hate when you hated the first game. You didn't want to support the first game. You didn't give me, but then when Xbox swooped in and Microsoft swooped in and bought the company, now you're a big massive supporter of Bethesda titles. You're a big massive supporter of this game. You fucking hated these games, and I hate those kind of guys. I think they're the worst thing for the industry. I don't even know why people listen to them, because they're clowns. So, with that being said, people like me who supported the first game, who bought the first game, who saw the interest in it, for the second game, I just don't. I think they're showing it bad. I just don't think they're giving the people who really enjoyed the first game enough. And I think it's going to be being digital only. Okay, we know Microsoft's going that way. They want you to invest in Game Pass. I get it. It's going to hurt the sales. The game is not going to sell. Look at Alan Wake 2. The game sold. It failed. Mm-hmm. No matter how well it scored, no matter what it got nominated, it's a failure. It didn't sell. It was a digital only game. Wrong move. I think this is one of those things that, because it's in Game Pass and it's digital only, they thinking, hey, we don't have to worry about it. They're sending this game out to fail. No matter what this game scores, no matter how well it scores, it can get 9s across the board. This game is going to fail. It's going to fail on the merits of many people aren't going to play it. Many people are going to be interested in it. This is not the market for them. And then I also think that it fails because the way they're showing it, they're just showing it poorly. All right, so
you think
let's go to
the fact that they're
go ahead.
showing it that. So when you were looking at it, you
they're
don't
showing
like that they're
it
not showing the combat because they did
they're
say
not
like
showing
the
the
combat has
combat.
changed, right? And they showed the same combat, and he didn't show like the elements of how
everything
the combat
I've
has
seen
changed.
seems like the first one, and it's not that.
Yeah,
I'm looking for the innovation. From what
Especially it took
I've
so
heard
long,
and what
right,
I've
to
seen,
make it.
all I've seen is like that audio sound, the crazy audio. Everything in the world is going to do that now, not just the voices. And I'm like, oh, that's cool, but what about the combat? What about and look, I kind of look at this and say, I see why Microsoft has Game Pass. They send these games out to fail. They don't intend for people to buy these games. When you put a game out and you're like digital only on this platform and this service, your game is going to fail. So, unfortunately, my biggest thing is I want to be interested more in this game because I love the first one, but I just don't see. I don't see the appeal. Like outside of it looking good, I just don't see the appeal of what's so different from the first one. With that being said,
especially I had a similar kind of response in the sense that it has taken so long to make this game. The biggest thing was Ninja Theory was purchased by Microsoft. They have all the money now that they didn't have prior. So they had all the funding, they had all this access that they didn't have, all that marketing spiel.
That's what's confusing me. I mean,
they were purchased, right? And now since 2018, you had this. They took you on vacation. You went out there. You took your photos and all that other stuff. Like we expect to see bigger and better with a sequel. Considering now it has the funding that it gets from Microsoft. Microsoft believes in the project. This is a sequel, so they know basically. That this is what the first game did. So this is not like a new a new venture into this IP. This IP is out there. It was on a Switch, it was on PC, it was on a PlayStation. Like, of all the games, actually, here it is. Of all the games, I would think that they would push this one even harder because the first one was associated with PlayStation long ago.
But
this could be a game that you could kind of turn some big, hey, look at they made the first one better. And the fact that this is originally a PlayStation game,
go ahead,
launch there, this would be definitely something that to move it over to be oh wow, because that I remember when they announced that I was just like, oh damn, they got Ninja Theory, holy crap, like they were
and that was a big get, that was a big get. Ninja Theory is very talented.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
I know.
I think the other thing. So I think what's up, Link? So I think the other thing is I'll move right on to the next game, the Mana game.
Avowed?
No, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna say Avowed for kind of Avowed ain't jump. Say that last. So I'm gonna move on to the Mana game. This will be real quick, straight to the point. That game has never been associated with Xbox. It's always been associated with Nintendo and PlayStation. It's not in Game Pass. I'm not gonna buy it. Bottom line, that game is not gonna sell on Xbox.
Frogz.
They don't care.
Even if it wasn't Game Pass, they wouldn't play it.
They wouldn't play it.
It does look awesome though. I have to say, man, that game does look
it looks good.
Awesome.
I'm gonna buy it.
But
every Mana
don't do well over there.
Yeah, they don't do well. So the other thing is that strategy game, I don't see how that. I'm gonna be honest with you, and it sounds like a lot of activity. I saw a lot of Xbox guys and girls after the show when people were like, "Yo, this show wasn't good at all. It was pretty bad," and they were like, "Oh, everybody complains about everything." That's the problem. You guys don't ask for better. You guys and girls, I swear when I see the timelines, you guys will take the shittiest of shit and call it good. and you ask for nothing better. And I don't understand how you expect this company not to go third party. It's written on the wall. Like, this is not. You showed 5 games and like. I just don't get it. So let's go to Indy. We're gonna go to Indy because I really want to save Avowed talking about
Jones.
So they did their that little, like I said, that strategy game, which that's a PC game. Nobody cares about that on console. Who cares, right? I'm gonna be honest with you. Nobody's thinking about it. Just like Flight Sim, nobody's caring about the game
that they put on there.
But nobody cares about that. That game is not even the conversation. I don't even know why they showed that trash.
You know, and one thing I would
Indiana
add
Jones.
one thing about that strategy games. I know that they're typically associated with PC and all that other stuff, but people made excuse why that wasn't on an Xbox and it was just only on PC. But the thing is
they were always too complicated for controller.
But they already ported games that were on PC first over to console, so it can be done. It's not like they're not keeping Age of Empires over there. Like they're bringing those games. Flight Simulator is another one. They brought that over as well. So, like, the fact that we're saying here, like, oh, well, it's a PC-centric game. It's like, but they've been bringing them over, and I'm sure
I get tired of hearing that crap because the bottom line is
they chose that.
It's a bad freaking way to look.
Indiana Jones.
It's a slap. It's a slap in the face. Hold on, wait. So that strategy game, nobody's gonna buy it. Nobody cares.
Whose mic is loud? Who's the Frogz mic? I'll lower.
Is it mine?
Even there.
All right. So Indy.
Now I think we're
Indiana Jones was probably my most anticipated title that I was looking forward to seeing because it was the first time seeing it.
Yeah.
And now that I've got a chance to sit there, and I've heard a lot of people have takes on it, I agree with most of the takes. I would have preferred it to be a third-person action game in vein of Uncharted or a Last of Us or Tomb Raider. I think that being first person.
You wanted an Uncharted clone? You want an Uncharted clone?
No, not a clone. I want competition. You see what I'm saying? Like, I want to be able to look at Xbox and say, hey, this is what they're known for. Their Indiana Jones series. This is what Sony's known for. Their Uncharted series. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think that a game like Indiana Jones is going to translate well to first person. When I watched it, and here's the other thing. Every game I saw had the same claymation, cartoony kind of
look. You always say that. You've been saying that.
Outside of Hellblade, nothing looked really like on the level of a God of War or an Uncharted or a Last of Us. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Indiana Jones will look good, but just watching it play, I was like, damn. You know what it reminded me of? And I'm going to be honest with you. What it reminds me of is Wolfenstein Call of Duty kind of story gameplay mode. Like, that's what I feel it's going to be like. It's going to be like a Call of Duty type of story mode where you're running around, and that's what I feel it's going to be like. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping that the whip game is good. Just looking at the game. Hey, just looking at the game, I would say I'm interested as it comes along, but there again, I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what to make of heads or tails. It could come out and people could say Machine Games, and Machine Games makes Wolfenstein okay, but I really think they should have tried something different. We have so many companies that have done first-person games and said, let's try third-person, and they were successful. I wish they did a different formula. I wish they tried something different. I wish it was a true action-adventure in third person because you want to see Indy. You want to see. You don't really get the same feeling when you're Indiana Jones and you're in first person. And like them switching cameras, swinging and going from third to first, jumping on people. Some of that didn't look good.
It didn't look as polished, and it is coming out later in the year. But too, right. Frog. Like the thing is too is that maybe during those first person sequences, like I wonder if he's gonna do a lot of talking to himself, like oh boy, and just saying I don't know, like is he gonna do that to make you think that he's still indie? Because you feel like you're playing as him.
I think this is a smaller game. I think once again this is a 10-hour game. It's something you play through.
They said the semi-open world. I think too.
I think it's a small game. I think it's a very small game and smaller than we think it is. I think it's and it's gonna sound crazy. I think that just because you got
this
Troy
looks
Baker
janky. This
and
part here,
different
Frog. The part where it goes
Troy
from
Baker,
the first person to third, like this whole swinging thing.
Right. Because you got names like Troy Baker and so forth behind it, I don't think that
this part,
that this is as big as people think it is. I think this is going to be a smaller title. I don't think people.
Listen, man.
I think people should have the expectations set right. And I don't think you look at this as a bigger title. This is going to be small.
Frogz, man. They didn't pony up the money to get the actual voice actor, so you should have known that there's going to be some half-ass stuff. You know what I'm saying? Not saying it won't be a good game, It's going to be a good game. I think it looks like it's going to be pretty fun. I won't play it, but it looks
Yeah,
like
I'm hoping.
I'm gonna try.
I'm not
it.
playing no first person Indiana Jones. I don't try games.
It's definitely like this whole scene where he's on the back of the
Right.
plane, man. That is like looked like it's ripped right out of Wolfenstein.
That looks like it's right out of. It looks.
first person.
This is like right out of Wolfenstein right here.
The only games I like in first person are shooters, and I don't like action adventure games in first person. So for me, that's a major turn off immediately. I'm not going to play the game.
Yes,
but the game looked good. Graphically, it looked good, right?
Yeah. It's still that card. It's look, but that cutscene in the beginning, I was like, that's cool. That was cool.
Well, Indiana Jones character model looks pretty good. This game would look really good if it was just a basic licensed movie tie-in game. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that it's its own standalone thing, I was expecting the character models look okay, but they're not super detailed. Like their skin don't have any texture to it. It looks real smooth. You know.
Let me ask you a question, Link. Because I'm an indie fan. I'm a diehard indie fan.
I'm
just
sure
like
it is
I'm a Star Wars fan, so forth. I'm a big LucasArts fan. I love Lucas stuff. When you how can I? Okay. When I saw the title of the name of this game, it didn't feel. You know how some titles and they're like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, and Indiana Jones and the blah blah. I'm like, this title just didn't flow off the tongue well. It's just the name of this game. I'm like, it's something about a circle.
You just got to add the word jerk at the end, and now we're done.
Yeah, circle jerk, Indiana Jones and the circle jerk. And what made me really irritated, and this is what irritates me about a lot of people who game primarily on Xbox, I feel that they cannot tell the truth. They lie to themselves, and they will tell you something is great and it's great and nothing was wrong with it. And that game will come. They did the same thing with Redfall. They're talking about how amazing it's gonna be, and it came out and it freaking. I just feel like
once they said Todd at this time, Redfall was game of the year. Potential game of the year.
Once they said Todd Howard, once they put Todd Howard's name with this, I was instantly turned off. Oh man, I don't want to see Todd Howard's name near this.
Well, it's right in the beginning, though.
and that's my problem. Like, once they said Todd Howard, I was like, yeah, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. I just don't. No, this is not it.
Well, let me get to these super chats here. Let me get to the super chat and finish everything. Twisted Sync with the 2. He goes, Alan Wake 2 was also on Epic Store exclusive. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, Alan Wake 2 with that all digital stuff. I know we're talking about the all digital with Hellblade. You know, the first one was
I think
on
they
there,
messed up.
You know, but again, the second one, you know, I felt like they should have done a bigger push with Hellblade 2. Like, it doesn't need to be that indie darling anymore because it's behind big money Microsoft. Like that, and I always said the first Hellblade, just what Twisted was saying, like, you know, with this digital stuff, the first Hellblade was this digital only indie darling because that was the vision that they wanted. Now, I guess they wanted to keep the same type of vision, but the problem is now you got a big Microsoft behind it. There was a big deal about buying them, all this stuff, and big budget, 6 years, vacation, motion cap studio, all the new computers, all the new support that they got from Microsoft there, and Matt Booty grabbing that ass. Everything was in there. We expect to see a bigger thing, not smaller and digital like an indie darling.
There you go.
It's not an indie darling. Hellblade 2 should be.
I expected
the biggest thing. It took forever, right? Hell who? Oh my God, Weezed.
Right.
Then it's a Cosmic Hero 270 with the 5. He goes, Jez, Halo, what are we doing here? He says. He goes, also, who wants Starfield for 3 cents? Walmart's got a killer deal coming soon. Oh, damn. Yeah, I saw that. The 3 cents. So, getting rid of that. Wait, I got 2 more here.
Go ahead.
You have something to say about Starfield 3 cents?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. All right. I really want to get into a Valve.
The claim was with the 10. He goes, first person isn't necessary. The issue is this is Indiana Jones.
You're my #1 customer.
The Claymore says, my main issue is that it looks like a janky Bethesda immersive sim. It does not look like a smooth, action-packed Wolfenstein game. And I see, like, you know, there was something with these Bethesda games where the animations are just janky. And you know, and one of the things from the developer direct was like that whole part where he snuck up and hit him with the shovel. I don't think I have it on this one, But when he snuck up, the guy like went
No, when he
ragdoll, but
picked up
didn't
the hammer, he threw it. It was just so weird looking.
Yeah,
I was
he
like,
didn't.
what the hell?
It was weird. Is this the one? Did they show it in this one? Or hold on, let me see if this is the one.
Very odd.
Yeah, like there's definitely the jank. I think the whole like going from third person to first person. Like I know people like deal breaker and all this other stuff. My thing is that you're right. It is Indiana Jones, and the thing with Indiana Jones was that it's not a shooter. It's not a first person shooter. The character doesn't go around just shooting guns. A pistol's like his last resort to use. He uses his whip. He uses his punch. A lot of melee. And that is the thing that doesn't look the best is the melee. A lot of punching, a lot of bar fights, a lot of brawling. And that really doesn't translate very well from what we've seen in the first person. So, like, you know, and again, you want to compare this to Uncharted, compare it to Uncharted. The brawl scenes in Uncharted, the bar fight in the second, like, just look at the animations here with the melee. Like, it does not look very
I was
appealing.
Expecting for an indie game, that's what I was expecting Tomb Raider.
He's not, because he's not. It's not
like
it's not
Uncharted
a
type
Wolfenstein
gameplay.
You know, it's not Wolfenstein. Grab the shoot the knock, shoot like. It's not.
And I hate people, and I hate the fact that people are saying, "Well, it's the same team from Wolfenstein. They make good Wolfenstein games. This is a whole new project. This gave them the ability to say, "Hey, let's do something completely different than we're used to, and let's really show how talented we are."
Because remember, Machine Games is last Wolfenstein game.
Yeah.
When they tried to do co-op and all that.
Yeah, they made a first-person game. They went the safe route.
Look at what Guerrilla did. They were making Killzone, and they switched it up and made Horizon,
and that's
which is a third-person open-world action RPG.
Yeah,
like you can do it.
And then we really got to see their talent. I don't get it. I just don't get why. And this what bothers me with.
I know exactly why it's like that.
With Xbox owning so many of these studios, you figure they would really change stuff up. And the inner workings of the studios, like studios saying, "Hey, we got this engine. We know this game could work." I don't feel they're doing that. I feel that they're really poorly managed. And with all these games coming out this year, with the exception of Monica's is multi-plat, all these games coming out this year, it doesn't matter if they say Game Pass or not. It's the thing of like. So what, they go into Game Pass, what if they don't do well? You know how they do well? And we're going to get into it.
We heard you.
They do well
Halo.
by...
I'll show you Halo. Oh, man. That wasn't even Game Pass.
They do well by reviewers that only review for Microsoft or Xbox products doing well. That's the only reason they do well. And we're going to get into that conversation. Let's talk about Eval.
I was surprised at how much Indiana Jones we saw. I didn't think that this was coming later this year, considering how much we saw of it.
Dude, it's a passion project.
And he threw the hammer. Let me get these two more Indiana Jones ones. He goes, the Claymores with the 10. He goes, first person isn't necessarily the issue. No, I already did that one. 3 Mile Island with the 2.
No, that's an issue.
No, it is an issue. I just cut it off because I read that already. 3 Mile Island to 2, he goes, does Indiana Jones look like it's ready for PSVR 2? That is actually a good point. Doing that whip in first person is a VR game. Like, it definitely looks like a VR.
That's you know what? Whoever said that, that's the equivalent. It looks like a VR game.
Yeah.
Does
look like a VR game.
Yeah.
And then he follows that up, though. Frog, 3 Mile Island follows that up with another 2. He says, my volume's great. Link's volume's great. Frog is on a megaphone.
Number one customer.
I don't know what you're using, Frog.
I don't know what. I'm using my H9 headset. So I don't know.
Whatever it is, it's coming off like a megaphone.
Let me turn it down. Let me turn it down.
And then, Mr. 10 says he's getting motion sickness.
You're my
and
number one customer.
Twisted Sync comes with the 5, and he comes in and he goes, Indiana Jones is using id Tech. So I don't understand why it looks worse than Doom and slower. Still interested to play it on PC. So, this dude's mic. Is it my mic that's loud or my mic is okay? I think it's just Frog.
Yeah,
I think
you can turn me down if I'm loud.
I turned it down as much as I could.
I'm just talking on.
Dude, I turned it down. Otherwise, we won't hear Link. Link will sound like a mouse. Link, what did you? Any last things on Indiana?
Dr. Jones? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Link, did you have anything on Dr. Jones? before
I
we
don't
go
give
to
a shit
Avowed?
about this game. Not playing it. It further
So you're not
confirmed my
playing.
suspicions about
Frogz?
it being first person. So
Okay.
I'm not interested in the game.
You're not interested.
I'm interested. I'm interested in the fact
I ain't
that
playing
I'm
that dog
hoping it's
shit.
a good. I'm hoping it's a good game. But I have this feeling that it's only going to be a good game because that you're going to have the backing of reviewers that they're going to back it. That
Well,
don't
there's
want to
also,
trash it
That
because
doesn't make it. That doesn't reviews don't
yeah,
make
we
it
have that
good.
article coming. We got that article coming
Yeah.
about the reviewers. But for me, I'm gonna play it. I like Indiana Jones, but the thing is as I said before, this is gonna be definitely a departure from what we would envision an Indiana Jones game to be. Considering that we had Tomb
Indiana
Raiders
Jones
derived
IP.
from Indiana Jones. We have Uncharted,
Indiana
which
Jones
is basically
IP is
Indiana
on
Jones.
life support, man. Don't
And that's
nobody
the
care
other
about
thing,
Indiana
yeah.
Jones
And
anymore.
I would think that having Indiana Jones in the first person, it's definitely going to be a bit jarring, but maybe they can make it work. I'm going to tell you right now, though, from seeing the melee, they got to clean that up. They got to clean the whip up. And, hopefully because those are the main elements of Indiana Jones.
If that game is coming out this year, there ain't going to be much cleaning up to be done.
Well, first off, that is the only game that didn't have a season. It was just 2024.
it was just this year. Yeah.
Dude, Ryan just wrote Booty Productions.
Oh God.
Oh my God! Imagine Booty almost. Oh man, we got that. Yo, Ryan, that's hilarious. We got the booty drop. We gotta do a booty drop, everybody. It's booty drop time. We're not even 30 minutes in here. It's booty drop. Let's do it.
Let's see that booty drop.
Booty Productions presents.
Booty drop.
They had to
Oh shit! Oh, the part of. Oh my God, it's killing me.
Booty Productions. I gotta do a video
So
now.
I intentionally saved
Avowed for last. The best for last.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I saved.
Oh, I got some
last.
things to say about that game.
They're so okay. Okay, here. Let's see. What can I say positive about it? Okay. So I'm gonna try to get a couple of positives because there's a lot negative that I saw, but the positives like the art style and that box art that was dope.
The box art.
I'm just gonna start. That's the most positive. That's the most positive thing I can say. When they showed this game, I was sitting there saying so many things about it, and then BG, shout out to BG and Weaponwood. Everything BG said, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, this game doesn't like the collision detection and like they're hitting it. This seems like it doesn't have no oomph. It just seems like it's so generic. The voice acting is totally horrible. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I listened to somebody who's an Xbox loyal tie, nothing wrong with the voice. If you think that voice acting is good, there's something wrong with you.
Oh my God.
That voice acting was horrible.
Yeah. Well, I gotta.
That's the worst voice acting I've ever seen in a game that's supposed to be of a higher production.
Okay.
The fight mechanics.
We'll pause and then I will go into just a demo what Frog is speaking about. So
oh my God, it's bad.
Here's a clip.
Fault.
Here it is.
Just the four of us. Manu, Kiri, Naoki, and me. Training under Captain Ruiki. Trying to keep Thirdborn safe.
In other words, you're a gang of vigilantes. Not that I'm one to judge.
Here. Take my badge. Take everyone's. Our families deserve to know we fought and died for them.
Making the right choice isn't always what it seems.
Here's the best one.
We embrace moral nuance and gray areas, trusting play.
We're ambushed by those miserable Zorips. I was so surprised, and it was so dark. I just got separated from everyone else. Look, I can't face those monsters alone, but I have to know if anyone else made it out. Of course he did. Sergeant Asui never has a thought he won't say.
Dude, this guy looks like the avowed Ryan Reynolds.
That Captain Ruiki.
Did anybody?
That I was paranoid, that I was a dumb
When
baby.
he was talking,
He looks like
take my
Ryan
badge.
Reynolds. He-
Dude, you could tell something was wrong with the voice. He's like, take my
Wasn't
badge.
that
And then I'm like, wait,
happened?
what? Take my
At the end of the
badge.
quest,
Take
you have a
everyone's,
choice.
our
When you
families
confront
deserve
Mr.
to know
If
we
you believe
fought
the
and
story
died
he
for them.
told you,
It was
you
just
hand
so,
over the
it was so
badges
cringy. I
and
was
let
like,
him
this
go
is,
back home.
how is this ready for
Right.
prime time?
This
Real
bootleg
bad.
Like, the
Ryan
voice
Reynolds right
acting
here.
se-
Oh my goodness.
Let me tell you
It's not
something.
my
The
fault.
voice acting seemed
No,
horrible in
they-
this game. And when I put
they
that
should've
up there,
never
people
I've
were
been
going
saying
in.
that.
No,
I'll take the badges.
people, I saw so many.
Go on.
Nobody
People
likes
telling me it's
anything that
amazing.
Xbox does, and I don't understand why people just shit on Xbox all the
can't
time.
see-
Why
you
can't
see
y'all
it?
be real?
Frog,
This
look
is
at that
shit.
guy. Doesn't he look like
They're not
bootleg
going to
Ryan
be.
Reynolds?
They're not
This
going
is
to be.
shit.
They're not
This
gonna
is
be honest.
this is. Let me tell you something. This is shit, and it bothers me so much because there's some
Tell us how you
genuinely
really
good.
feel. Holy crap, he's giving that.
There's
Booty
some
Productions
genuinely
quality.
cool ass people that play on Xbox that love Xbox, but you cannot say this shit is good. This shit, dude. Look at the fight when that freaking lizard. The dude's talking about the blocking and the parrying, and the lizard jumps in. Dude, that shit sound horrible. He had a paper plate and he was like, kink. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is not good. I can't, dude. It infuriates me to listen to these freaking podcasts, or the Xbox centric podcasts, and them lying.
Frog is
I
going
can't.
off.
Let me tell you, I block and I mute everything related in X. And I'm gonna tell you, I have such a deep disdain for people who just lie.
Customer.
The Iron Lords lie. This Xcast, they lie.
All right,
Planet
I'm gonna-
Xbox, you lie. I get so sick and tired of them being so fucking stupid. Like, you cannot worship like this Xbox as is a god and not tell the truth and sit there and kiss the floor that Phil Spencer walks on just for PR. I get so tired of PR bullshit. This is why they're going third party, because you guys won't tell the truth. When it's bad, say it's bad and make them better. You're sitting here saying this is great, this is AAA quality. Oh my god, game of the year. I've heard so many bullshit things. I'm like, this is why nobody wants to associate with anybody dealing with Xbox, because you guys, like Link says, it's a cult. I seriously think these
Frog, your
guys
mic
are in
is
a
clipping.
cult.
People are going crazy here.
Oh, my
Nicole,
bad.
hold on. I'm trying to show here avowed Ryan Reynolds.
Oh my god, dude, it just fucking annoys me.
Is avowed Ryan Reynolds. Oh man, dude, this is. I wish I could zoom in on him. I don't even do zoom in, but dude, it is. They modeled Ryan Reynolds after this guy. They got him. They got him. But I you know, the thing is with
It's
these
a cult,
games,
man.
Well, the thing is they're looking for the game they're looking for they, and I heard this around too, is that they're looking for
these people have to be in a cult. You have to be in a cult to sit there and think that you are somehow going to win some kind of battle when you have no ammunition at all.
You know, the thing is
It's a cult. It's a cult. It's a cult. It has to be.
Is that when these games, first off,
It's a
we were
religion.
asking where these games were.
Oh my
Just like
God.
Hellblade, right? And like where these games are. What's going on with these games? And then they're like, let them cook. It takes 5-7 years to make these games. 6 years. That's why they didn't say anything. But now when they're showing these games like Hellblade, everybody's like, oh, that's fine. Okay, smaller, that's all right. Nobody had an issue with that. And it's just like, but you said the reason why it's taking so long since 2019 when they showed it is because it's going to be bigger and better. Like it's going to be. And meanwhile, I said what Booty said, that he said it's going to be the same size and he'll be happy with that. And people are like, no. You know what you're talking about. And meanwhile, that's exactly what it is. So when these games like Halo, like Forza, that takes 6 years to be making, oh, let them cook. They know what they're doing. And when they come out and they're less than what they used to be, the shells of their former selves,
Jazz,
how is that acceptable?
You said something that you've been saying for a while, and every time you say it's come to fruition of every major franchise that Xbox has had, you said, ooh, this game, Halo's going to turn into a service game, and it did. Forza comes out, you said that next Forza game is going to turn into a service, and it did. And failure after failure after failure has happened with these games. Forza is doing bad. Forza is
Forza's
really
doing very bad.
Forza's doing really bad. Even people who are
You
like
just made the
really
list.
die-hard
Oh, here come the
Forza fans,
listers. Bro, here they come. Wait,
they are.
Here they come. You know the thing. We'll talk about Halo. I have that. That's my
They basically
passion.
they're telling
You just made the list.
the studio, they're telling Microsoft, hey, this isn't it. You guys have a lot to like. You guys, I feel like with this Forza game, and like I said, I played a little bit of it and I wasn't impressed. I feel like a lot of people
You just
who are
made the list.
diehard with these Halos, these Forzas,
Oh,
they're
we'll talk about
telling
Halo.
these studios.
I was playing
They're
it
telling
again.
the diehards are telling the studios like this isn't good. This is not what we want. The casuals
just made the
are
list.
saying it's okay,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't matter because it's in Game Pass, and we'll try it out. And until you get it right, we're just happy it's in Game Pass. I talked to a
You
guy,
just made the list.
and I sat in
Wait,
a
hold on.
friend's
There's a
house.
couple more lists coming through because my thing. I gotta mute that just made the let's go because somebody's like they keep talking over the thing. I gotta.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Mute it. But yeah, because I want to make sure you heard and not in there. But I want to thank Robert Lawrence for the 5 members that he gifted there. I just want to give it to Ryan Lands got it, Alpha Ghost, Truth Serum. Who else got it? Devil Shooter, and also a Chad Stud got it. Congratulations, VIP Grinders. And then let me get this super chat here, and then Frog, I'll let you continue. Kazakh Hero 270 with the 10. Thank you so much, man. He goes, Jez, as a younger gamer who grew up with Xbox along with PlayStation and Nintendo, where did this cult mentality come from? My friends who played on Xbox never acted like these morons. And you know what? And people go, well, they think it's anger, assault. The thing is that, as you know, Cosmic, like growing up with Xbox, and that's one of the things that I'm really going to talk about with Halo, in the sense that was my franchise. That was my thing that brought me to Xbox, and I loved Halo. I still love Halo. I love the idea. I love Master Chief. I love the whole thing about Pause. But I prefer Halo over Gears, even though I do like Gears as my second favorite. But Halo is my game. And the fact that what happened to Halo was just glossed over and accepted, and people just said, whatever. And you don't hear passionate fans for Xbox being ticked off, because trust me, if they took Mario and screwed his ass, people will go berserk as Nintendo fans going, what did you do to my IP? If somebody took God of War and turned it into a poor quality game or some whacked ass thing, people will be like, that is the franchise that identifies your platform. How do you let this happen? How is that not on the first time, the first thing coming out? Hey, this game represents our brand. This is our identity. How do you let this go out there and just get fixed later on, or just the disaster that has become? This is, if there was no Halo, there is no Xbox. And the fact that they sent that thing out there to what it has become today, it is a travesty. It is ridiculous. And if die-hard Xbox fans cannot come to the realization that they ruined the franchises that we grew up with, that we love Xbox
You're
for,
my number one
and
customer.
go, well, it's salted. If you could easily gloss over that stuff, then what kind of Xbox fan are you? What are you? What are you celebrating? What is the celebration?
It's not diehard. It's not.
Because they ruined the big franchise that identified their brand, and they did not give us new franchises.
Fanboys.
Yes, you don't realize.
I don't even know what it is anymore, dude. I have no clue.
Listen, I know what it is.
The diehards tell the truth. The fanboys don't.
The Halo community was destroyed with this game. That's how bad it was.
These people that are left over now, these are not the diehard. These are the cultist, zealot, religious, Xbox religious people. They don't even play video games, most of them. They don't care about
Link talks so all the time in spaces. He drives them so crazy.
You don't understand. These dudes, you can't reason with them. It's
nope.
I know you get frustrated, Frogz, when you hear this stuff, but it's like it's insanity, is what it is. And like Jez was saying, if Sony put out a God of War where Kratos was looking like, a Minecraft character or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like with low poly textures and all this crap, and the game was unfinished, and they promised you all this stuff that was gonna come years later. And listen, when they treated Halo the way they treated it and put it out there in that state, that lets you know all you need to know.
Let me ask you something, Link, because you would definitely
they don't care.
But you were definitely more on the Sony end with this. There was a reason why God of War had to come back the way it did in 2018. Because what was the reception of God of War Ascension, the last one? When they tried to throw multiplayer in that thing, and people said, "Oh no," because Ascension came out of the PS3 near the end, right? Like near the whole exclusive.
Yes.
Like, it came out after God of War 3, right? Ascension came out.
It was the last God
of
of War.
course.
It was the last one
before 2018.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they said,
and God of War 3 was amazing.
God of War 3 was amazing, but then they kind of wore out there. Well, and they said, let's do Ascension. What was the reception to that? People didn't want it. It didn't do well. So they had to reboot 2018. Nope. They had to do something different. They could not do the same thing. So
they took a break, right? They took a break, and they came back with something new and something better.
Mm-hmm. So you see that stuff, and yeah, like that. That's what
this is why. And
people didn't accept God of War going,
the Ascension's
the incredible thing, like, all this stuff. And I don't want to name names of people.
And Ascension wasn't a bad game. It was still quality.
No. Specifically developers. This is why I like Jaffe. I don't understand him.
Jaffe.
This is why I don't understand Jaffe, because that was his baby, right? What I'm saying is this is why I don't understand Jaffe. That was his that was Jaffe's baby. And when 18 come out and the critical acclaim and the reception, Jaffe is a hater. Let's put it out there. He's a hater. He hates everything that God of War has become, and Sony touched him somewhere he doesn't like. And I'm 110% for sure he has bad blood with Sony, because he goes in on him as much as he can. He fights for mediocre stuff, and I don't get it. I don't get that this is your baby. And you have and look, Jaffe's super talented when he was young. He's lost his marbles now. He's turned into freaking just something I'm like, what's wrong with you? Have you always been?
Dude, I don't know what his deal is, but he's not a fan of the new
then it goes back to when you see games like Avowed. This is a brand new franchise, indie. This is a brand new IP. They're showing games that are brand new IPs, and they're not showing them in good ways, right? And the people who want to play the game actually want to play I own a Series X, so I have the ability to play, but I'm like, yo, this isn't it. And the fanboys are saying, why can't it just be it? Why can't you just love what it is? It's going to be in Game Pass. Why complain about $16.99? That's the whole point. The cost of entry has got you so fickle, because the fact of the matter is, I want to play the new God of War. I want to play the new Helldivers. I want to play whatever new that places give me that it's only on PlayStation. But if it's fickle, I don't care what kind of service it's in. I won't touch it. I won't play it. And the reception should be, oh, people aren't here. But what you're getting is these fluff numbers of X amount of players played this game. This is exactly why when you look at like games like Starfield, and they put numbers out, 13 million subscribers have touched Starfield. The game didn't sell. The game was a failure. It was a flop. They're not going to say that, because they're going to put these false numbers out here to make you seem, and then you got these fanboys who are going to follow these false numbers. And this is this is the more and more I see this, and the writings on the wall, just become a publisher. You don't obviously care about gaming. You have a small percentage of zealots who don't care about gaming also. They're ruining it for everybody else. Just become a publisher. Put your games elsewhere. Let these people that I won't farther name, let them get out of gaming, because they said, oh, if Microsoft's Xbox goes away, I won't game. Great. We don't need you here, because you never were a gamer in the first place. You never owned the original Xbox. You didn't really game, but you talk like you know what you're talking about, but you don't. So we need to get rid of it. We need to read these people out. Really have the gamers.
Listen, there's the people that are left over that were diehard fans of Xbox, either migrate over to PC or they're on PlayStation. The rest of these dudes, these cultists, you can't.
They can just die. They can die in the gaming space per se.
Let them go down with the ship, man.
Yeah, there's nothing that's going to change their mind. And you know what, Frogz?
Change them.
Like you say, sometimes like if Microsoft's going to go this route and take their IPs and do this stuff and not show the games of what they used to do, then you know what? They're just going to burn it down. Like, that's what they're just going to do.
Right.
Like they're going, who's coming back for Crackdown? Who's going to be excited at the next Halo? Let me ask you. Like, how do you
Let me
release
ask you
Forza
and
in the
Link
state
this.
it is when the GT7's been sitting there for over a year? You know what your competition is. How do you release your Forza game, your premier franchise like that?
I'm happy you said that. This is what I'm going to ask you and Link.
I don't understand it.
For the studios that you know of existing, this is not even a Microsoft, an Xbox, PlayStation. This studio games that you love. 9 times out of 10, I would guess that you and Link, for the studios that you know, the games you come off, you pretty much probably say this studio's produced this good game, this good game, this good game. They have good grace with you.
Like Obsidian
you're gonna
makes
try their
good
next
games,
game.
so there may be some
right. You're gonna try their
Avowed, but I don't know.
Right.
Obsidian makes good games.
You're more of a person gonna say, hey, I'll try this next.
I'm
Naughty
trying
Dog title
it.
out.
That's the thing. Like I'm gonna
try the
that...
next Sony Santa Monica. I'm gonna try the next 343 Coalition. You see what I'm saying? You like, okay, you produce this. Let me try. But it gets to a point where you're like, yo, 343, you've messed up like twice.
Oh,
I don't even care about your next title.
We got my rant. I gotta keep my voice for that one.
You see what I'm saying? Like it gets to a point where you're like, you look at these studios, you look at these. You say, Todd Howard, you keep messing up. I don't want to mess with your next project. I don't even care because at this point, what is the next Elder Scrolls really gonna be except for some jank?
No, no, dude.
You see what I'm saying? It gets to a point.
No.
It gets to a point. And I put it to you like this: if you had to bet money and say Elder Scrolls was going to come out the same year, around the same time that the new Grand Theft Auto game was going to come out, who was going to make more money? What was going to be the bigger one? I would bet money on Grand Theft Auto every time. They've never failed to impress me with. Rockstar has never failed, for the most part, to impress me with the things they produce.
Mm-hmm.
They've never failed. I can't say the same about Bethesda. I think they've lost their touch. Their 360 days and PS3 days, that's when they were great. I think they've lost their touch. I think that Fallout 4 was like their last really good game. Not amazing, good game. I think they've lost their touch. I think a lot of these studios, and it's sad because like I think machine games like the Wolfenstein franchise, I think it's great. I think Doom is absolutely amazing. It's an amazing game.
That's not from Machine Games. Machine did the Wolfensteins.
I'm sorry, not Machine. I'm sorry, not guys who do Doom. Not Machine Games. Machine Games does good games too. Arcane is the ones I don't like, but I forgot who does Doom.
They're doing the Blade.
But what I'm basically saying to you is,
so you didn't like this showcase?
I thought the showcase was, if I had to give it a score, it's a 4 all day.
A 4. All
it's
right.
a 4.
Link, what was your score?
It's a 4 all day.
What was your score?
It was pitiful.
We got to move on to the other one.
I want to talk about Avowed before we give it a score.
Gee, you want to do it?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
All
Please,
right, Link, you talk about
please, Link. I got to hear it.
Fly through the quick rounds here.
Fuck these crazy zealots. Let them rest in peace, man. They going away anyway because the Xbox is
yes,
third
thank you.
Listen. Avowed, man. Oh man.
All right, go back to gameplay.
Okay, so
go ahead, Link. I gotta hear it.
The trailer starts and I see E10 plus. I'm like, what?
Oh
E10 plus. Oh, so
Yeah.
okay. This is their trailer now. So I'm like, okay, I can already tell this gonna be some tinky wink nonsense. And then, that combat looks stiff. The moves, the spells and the attacks don't really seem to have much impact. When the characters die, they just immediately hit the ground. There's not much of a ragdoll or death animation. Looks horrible. The textures look okay, but the character
it looks
models,
better than last year. Let's give them that. It looks better than last year. What they showed.
It doesn't to me. It looks.
It looks like it can run in a series. It looks like it can run in a series.
It looked like some low budget Skyrim knockoff, right?
It does look like that. Now it does. You're right.
It looked like a double A Skyrim, and then
double A Skyrim.
It does, man, and like. It might be fun, but the voice acting, the character models, the animations, the spells. This is not worth it. If that CGI trailer was supposed to give you an idea of what the game was going for, but then you get this bright, colorful cartoonish. All of their games, none of their games seem to look very realistic. Other than maybe Hellblade, but it's another double A. It's a Game Pass game. That's what all you're gonna get, man. These Hellblade Thought it was going to be a AAA. It's a $50 game. Nothing wrong with AA games, but I was expecting a little more. I knew this Avowed wasn't going to be for me because all Obsidian does is make knockoff Bethesda games, and it looked like some low budget bullshit, man. That's just what it looked like. Low budget garbage shit that I'm not going to play. This show to me was a 5 out of 10. The only reason I'm giving it a 5 is because I do want to play Hellblade. Little disappointed there's going to be a short game. Doesn't seem to be expansive, but Avowed E10 plus. I really hope that's wrong because this game is going to be rated E10 plus.
Well, there's blood when there's swipe. Oh my god, that was horrible. That
little bit.
So it's probably it might be teen.
You're not gonna see. dismember. There ain't gonna be dismemberment.
No, there's little splats of blood. But look at like I'm showing this gameplay here, this combat that they had extended. Gameplay. Dude, look at when he pulls him over. Like the guy just slides across. Now, yeah, they got time, but my god, look at that. The guy just moonwalks over to him. What kind of the spells look so? The spells do not look very effective. Look at this guy get moonwalked over you. Look at this pull spell. Let me see if I can get the playbook.
Oh, listen, man, Harry Potter. What was the Harry Potter?
Look at these effects though. We need particle effects. Look at this guy. He just slides over.
Listen. The spells in that Harry Potter game look way more impactful than this shit they showed off.
Yeah, these spells do not look very good. That pull spell, the guy just moonwalked over to him. I don't know, dude. Especially from the video trailer, dude, that they showed. Remember that initial video, inside the cave and the lighting?
Yeah, it looked different.
And that's the other thing, too. Looking at this, the environments look clear, but there is no kind of, there's no element of immersion, smoke and fog and anything. It seems very, very generic in the sense what they've shown. And the enemy AI again,
you see how
with Bethesda and AI, the AI looks very yeah. That's from what I see. This is what it says. Alpha gameplay. So let's see. We'll see alpha gameplay.
You see how when the sword makes impact with the enemy, it's like a pause to it. What's up with
that? Right. I saw that.
I noticed that too. Yeah, there's definitely a delay. And similar animations. It says alpha gameplay. So we'll see. I'm sure we're gonna see it again in June. But yeah, the environments, that's right, Jeffrey Gaming. He looks sterile from what they're showing. Especially for a console that 12, I don't even know. I would bring up 12 teraflops. They had devs sitting around.
Nah, I don't even say that anymore. Most of these games look
what happens? All that marketing.
They focus on the series. They focus. Let me tell you, and this is what I was trying to go to.
Dude, he didn't even know he was coming to slap. The AI.
I sat in a friend's house. A friend of mine, they're selling a house. The inspector came in. He's inspecting their house, and he just happened to see. They just had to happen to have an Xbox Series X, the box was sitting in the garage. But they're PlayStation family. But they just happened to get one because the dad, he just likes a controller. He doesn't even really play games. He just likes the controller. That's why he got it. He doesn't even touch the thing. And so he was like, "Oh, I see you guys. I got an Xbox Series X." And this is a house inspector, older guy, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, they got one, da 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 da." And he's like, "Yeah, I got me one of those S's. That thing is awesome." And I'm thinking to myself, this guy got to be casual. And the more I started talking to him, the more I can realize he didn't really he was super casual. He's like, it's $2.99. I can just take that little box and move it from room to room. He really doesn't play games because I was like, what Xbox games do you play? I said, what Xbox games you playing? And he's like, oh man, I play Fortnite and Madden and Call of Duty. So he's not naming the Xbox exclusives. He's just naming third-party games that just happen to look better. And then he saw their PS5 sitting there. He's like, yeah, I really want a PS5 though, because that Spider-Man game. He's like, got this Wolverine game. He starts naming all these games that come out on PlayStation. He's like, yeah, I just wish they had it on Xbox. He's like, but I'm good with my Fortnite for now. And I'm thinking to myself, this is their market. Their market is the casual gamer who doesn't even know what their exclusives are. They just sold them on, hey, get Game Pass. And because I asked him if he had Game Pass, and he was like, yeah. He's like, I just got it so I can play online. I was like, well, you don't play the games in there? He's like, I want to play. I'm not really interested in a lot of the games in there. He's like, as long as I can play my Madden online. And I'm thinking damn, you're paying $16.99 a month just to play Madden, Call of Duty, and Mortal Kombat online. Now, and this guy, I'm like,
Frog, let me ask you a question.
This is craziness.
Frog's like, it's craziness. Flip it over the table.
Craziness.
Don't visit the neighbor anymore. I was just watching this gameplay to Avad while you're telling the story about the dude that plays on Booster, and I heard that they took out multiplayer here. That there was supposed to be co-op, and you could tell from these AI characters just like standing around and stuff. And look at that wonderful AI. They I don't think there's co-op in here, right? This is not a co-op dungeon crawler. I think they took out the multiplayer.
It's not.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be some kind of multiplayer aspect.
Because
you could tell.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So and you can see how
wonderful
that AI is.
Microsoft is making sure that the Series S, since it's their best-selling system, can have every game that comes out on there and look in parity with the Series X. I don't even know why they care at this point. Just make Series S games, fuck Series X, and tell everybody who's with a Series X you're a sucker.
Games.
No, they're making Series S games. They're making it. Let me rephrase it. Fun games.
I didn't see this extended gameplay. We're seeing this here. First time grind is for here. Look at this character. He's just standing there, just staring.
This looks bad.
Look at this dialogue. This guy just walks up to him. It looks like, is he taking a piss off the side of the cliff or something like that? Like, this guy, the Ryan Reynolds, bootleg Ryan Reynolds over here. He's just like standing there, like, whoa!
And you know what's crazy?
Dude, they did the same Bethesda jank from Starfield. The NPC walked
across
him when he's talking.
Yes. When I said something about the voice acting, man, people went in on me on freaking Twitter. They're like, why is everybody got to be negative about this? And I was like, I don't understand how you guys can't see the same thing I'm seeing. Like, this is bad. This is not good. How do you... I don't understand how people cannot see this is bad.
Why is it like the games, the dialogue and stuff like that still hasn't evolved since Morrowind? Why are we walking up to characters and just watching them stand still and talk to you?
And they turn around. Dude, watch this guy. Did you see the guy moonwalk in front of him? What's this thing? Like, he's just standing there. I don't know if he's taking a piss or whatever he's doing. And this is extended gameplay, dude. And then there goes a guy. All right, let's talk to this guy. All right, we're gonna talk to this guy here. And then here comes like this NPC. I saw the same thing happen in Starfield. Look, he's talking, and it's like, here comes the guy. Hello. What are we doing here? Oh! These games, oh my god.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Do you see that guy just side scroll in front of goddamn Ryan Reynolds? Like, what are we doing here? My god. All right, alpha gameplay. I'm sure those won't be in the final version, I'm sure. The Bethesda the Bethesda charm. Oh my gosh. Listen, this is what they're showcasing. This is not a person playing this stuff. This is actually what the developer shows the best to show in this thing. Would you ship that? What you just played?
You know what I was told?
This is what they're showing, dude.
Does any of this stuff give you a AAA feel to it? Does any of these games they showed off?
Not at all.
See, and I said one of the issues.
Where's the wow factor to these games?
One of the issues.
You know what I was told? I'm a hater because I was told I was a hater because PlayStation doesn't have as much good stuff coming out this year, and they know that PlayStation this year is doomed. That's what I was told.
Well, all I'm saying is this is the best they showed. Alpha gameplay, so I'm sure this is not going to happen in the final product. Ryan Reynolds will be there, and
this is a good year for Game Pass members.
There he goes, man. He's like moonwalking. Let's watch him again. Dude, that was so funny. I just saw this guy just walk. Whoop. But the thing is too is that they got so many studios. There's a lot of kind of overlap. Like now you have this kind of fantasy Skyrim game when you got Elder Scrolls coming out. And then we have Outer Worlds 2 coming out. So there's a lot of kind of and then Starfield is their sci-fi RPG. There's a lot of kind of overlap here because they just bought a whole bunch of companies that did the similar thing. Like they bought Obsidian, but then after that they bought a Bethesda, who is the original of a lot of Obsidian games that they make. But Obsidian makes good games, so we'll see. But this definitely looks like I said from when I first saw it. It definitely looks like a very budget very budget Elder Scrolls. That's what it looks like. So maybe it's good. It's maybe on the smaller end. Maybe it's like Outer World size. I don't know, but man, this is the best that they showed. It looks better. Like, look at this stuff. I know it's early, but my God, like, this is the kind of this is the stuff that they're showcasing. Like, look at the guy come out of the talking animation and then just like stand up and just be like right back to his just standing there. Yep, and I'm just standing there. And actually, it looked better slow down. If you look at it regularly, if you just look at it like regular, like watch how like disorienting this is for immersion. This is next gen, dude. Like, look at this. Like, look at this stuff. This is supposed to be like the big game from first party. And the guy, like, I don't know. See? Like, yep. This is what they decided to show. And this is the extended play. What is scan to keep? We'll see what the world is. But anyway. What is this? Is this cutscenes? What is this stuff? I didn't see this part. Yeah, this is from last year when they showed it. And come on 2024. Well, good luck with them. So, Link, what would you give the score? No, he's not supposed. Is he supposed to be dying? I don't know, dude. What would you give the score of the Dev Direct, Link?
Of that game particularly?
Oh no, the whole shebang. I gave it a 5.5.
5 out of 10. I gave it a 5.
All right, good. I was leaning.
I mean,
I'm excited for Hellblade. I want to play Hellblade, and I'm excited it's coming out sooner than later. So.
You got PC exclusives at an Xbox showcase. Again, another slap in the face to the fan base because it's an Xbox show. Xbox has no exclusives, but you make PC exclusives. Really is a slap in the face. And I only saw one game.
You got a multiplayer that's not in Game Pass.
Well, they don't have to put everything in Game Pass.
I'm glad.
So I don't
I'm glad that they got.
But a lot of people talked about that, and they said, "Why show it if it's not in Game Pass?" I saw podcasts that said
they do have marketing deals with games that aren't in Game Pass. I mean, I know people don't want to believe it, but everything can't go into Game Pass. And first of all, why would Microsoft?
I'm glad they're not doing that.
Why would Microsoft pay for a Square Enix game to go into Game Pass? They know people are not going to play.
Well, speaking about a game that's in Game Pass and everybody is excited for, it is one of those.
On their little
it is called Palworld. Have you guys played it?
No, I heard about it weekend, and it sounded like I heard about it this weekend, and what it reminded me of. It reminded me when PC players are going crazy for Tim, and I had no interest in that game either. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I bought that.
Yeah, I was like, fuck Tim, fuck Pal. I have no interest in this game, you PC guys, because everybody that talked about the game was a PC person. Everybody talked about the game was a PC person, and as soon as PC people start talking about these games and they threw 3 million sales and all this stuff, I'm like, that game's gonna be dead in a couple of weeks. Like, I have no interest in anything that anybody on PC talks about at all.
Oh man,
at all.
But it's in Game Pass.
It's actually. Yeah, but from what I was reading,
little Fisher Price plastic toy.
From what I've been reading, everybody that's been playing on Xbox says it's broken.
Yeah. So
they said it's unplayable and it's broken.
As you know, the Grindhouse has to play. I played it.
That's what I've been seeing.
See, so I played it, and I played it
on PC.
From PC, yeah, but I didn't get it from Steam. I did it, and you're right, I did it from the PC Game Pass, and that there's missing controller prompts in the game. So it's an older version.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so like when you go to controller, like all the button prompts.
You're about to choke me up.
So when you go in there, the button prompts, it's a glitch or whatever it is, but the button prompts are not there for the controller.
Oh my god!
So like I had to like remap. I guess like it was hard to map it because the controller prompts weren't showing up. It is an older build, they said, but just the game by itself, the game has elements of basically that survival type thing where you have to knock down trees, get stones, get a pickaxe, get a weapon, start building. You build pretty fast. It's not like Ark, but it is that kind of Ark survival type.
Is it like Animal Crossing?
No. So it is, you just in a world and you basically have to survive. You get hungry, you get thirsty, You have to build a campfire. You got to get food. So it's like Ark Survival. Just think of Ark Survival. Then they got Pokemon, or basically,
I hate that game.
Like they have animals walking around, these Pokemon-esque dudes that have powers and things like that. You could punch them, which is fun, beating the hell out of them. And then you could capture them with balls that you craft, Pokeballs or whatever the hell balls they call them. And then you could craft them, and then you could basically grow.
Balls.
You could breed them, you feed them, you take care of them, just like a Tamagotchi.
So you fight monsters and put them in your balls?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. And
like I don't know, like as soon as I seen people talking about it,
it's mainly a survival game with Pokemon there. I know people are talking about like Pokemon with guns, but it's a survival.
That's what I've been hearing.
There's building. It's like Ark Survival. So think of Ark Survival, and then you add Pokemon and weapons to it.
I hate it.
So that's what it is. Like it's not people like Pokemon with guns. It's like no, you're not running around like Fortnite style shooting down Pokemon and
see that's what people are making it seem like. Because every time I hear people talk about it, they say Pokemon. Yeah, and once you said Ark Survival,
it's Ark Survival.
That's
it's
good
survival games.
Big pass.
What is it?
I
the forest.
I hate Ark Survival.
You know, like the forest game where you just
don't like none of those type of. So it's basically a janky PC type game. Like to me, that's what it sounds like.
Tell you one thing,
janky
it's
PC.
Not super janky. It's pretty like it's.
Is
pretty
it better
polished.
than Temtem?
Temtem was pretty cool. I like Temtem with a turn-based RPG. It's like that was like Pokemon too. That was online.
I heard directly rips Pokemon off. Like directly it rips Pokemon.
There's
off.
A lawsuit going on with it.
Like they say you can easily tell that these are Pokemon.
Yeah.
And the Nintendo somehow may get a lawsuit because this shit is.
It's not janky. I can just tell you and I played on the Xbox version of it, but there's things missing. So I may want to try the Steam version. It's $30 on Steam in preview. So apparently it's a preview game.
Oh, it's in preview.
It's in preview. That's why it's on Xbox, because they have a preview program. So they basically have it in preview on Game Pass. So it's in preview on Steam. I don't know what the roadmap is to this, like when they plan to release it, but this is the uptick of a preview. It's in a preview game. So it's in a preview state. And we've seen preview games where they cash out. They're like, we're done. Like, so we promise it's going to release now. And they kind of drag the preview on. So we don't know.
Right.
So, but it's pretty.
PlayStation has preview also, but it's not as. I was going to say that PlayStation actually has preview, but it's not as well known. And PlayStation is more strict when it comes to that. Yeah, because PlayStation is very strict when it comes to preview games. Like if that game does not work, they will not allow it.
Yeah.
Because they're like you gotta see what they did with Cyberpunk. Mm-hmm. They're like, take this off the store. Sony's really, really strict. Whereas Microsoft is like, yo, you can buy something that's broken. And that's why I think that I kind of like that model of not having something, even if it's $26, $20, whatever, and I'm like, yo, this is a broken piece of shit, and I bought it. And that, but to Microsoft and Xbox, their credit, they're very good about giving you refunds. I've never had a problem buying anything off the Microsoft or the Xbox store, and they won't give me a refund. They will immediately give you a full refund.
Yeah.
PlayStation, on the other hand, good luck. You may or may not get that shit.
Yeah,
you may or may not get it. Go ahead and download that freaking software on your PlayStation.
It's like
you're not getting it.
You're trying to talk to somebody and stuff like that. What's funny is I went to PlayStation support and they're like, "You are 4-star, congratulations." They still made me wait. I'm like, "What the hell does this mean?" I'm like, "You wipe your ass with that stars."
It's been a long time since I've called them for like anything.
Well, you got to go through chat first in order to talk to them. Like you got to
It's been a long time, and you got to get a ticket and a queue, and I think they do it bad. I think they do. I will say I'll give credit where credit's due. When it comes to Xbox and talking to people and getting refunds and all that, it's very seamless. It's very easy.
Yeah.
Very easy. Their interface is trash.
Their
interface is
outside
of interface being trash.
Back to Palworld, they're probably going to try to get it on PlayStation as well. From what I played, it's definitely it is kind of engaging. So I'm going to say like it's not like it's definitely one of those what do we call them here? We call them where is it?
Game as a service?
No, they don't have. There's no service games in there.
Okay, it's not a service game.
It is a survival game, and it is engaging. So I do like that. It definitely kept my attention for when I was playing it. But it is one of those.
Would you say?
It's not.
So would you say if you're gonna play it on Steam and not the Xbox, Microsoft Windows,
I haven't
whatever?
compared the two of them. I haven't compared the two of them, but I just tell you from what I have, it's an older build confirmed. They said, and the controller buttons weren't mapped. Like you can't map your controllers now. That was on PC. Trying to play with a controller, there is definitely it's an older version. They said it runs okay. It's definitely a little resource heavy, but I was able to get pretty good speeds. I tried it on the Lenovo Go, like those little PCs. I got it in, running around 45 frames a second or something like that. And, I played about a couple hours of it. And, I was definitely, it has those things where if you die, you lose your stuff that you're carrying on you. So all the resources, the stones, the rocks, all that stuff for crafting, you lose it and you got to go get it again. So you respawn and then you got to go grab your stuff, just like Ark Survival. And then there's a whole, if you kill some of the NPCs, like the people, there's a whole, they start coming after you. The cops come after you. Like there's security, which was a little janky. Like they were shooting at me, but I wasn't getting hit until, there's definitely some polishing that needs to be done there. But there's building, there's crafting. You build a base. You do, you build a Minecraft desktop. Like you store elements, store food. You cook it on the fire. And you level up pretty quick, like in the sense. So it's not one of those grinding type things. And punching those Pokemon, Times Square Pokemon, I'm gonna call them. It's pretty fun, just punching the hell out of them and them just standing there taking a beating, and then they just roll down the hill. Like there's like a Jigglypuff one I was beating the hell out of, pause, and then he just started rolling down the hill, and then and then he just stays there. So there is ragdoll to the Pokemon. Or the bootleg Times Square Pokemon. The AI is dumb. Like, yeah, they're just there to punch on. Sound is pretty good. And yeah, it's not that bad looking, but yeah, it took over the internet by storm. $30 preview game. Game night with the 10. He goes, I do find it funny that bots want Xbox to buy Palworld developer. Oh, I saw that game night. Oh, Jesus. They want to buy everybody. Why? This is what I mean. This is what goes to what Frogz and Link was saying.
You're my number one customer.
Why do we want them to go buy them? Are they making anybody better? That's why let's look at what they've done with the studios from 2018. Is anybody shining and better? Remember, Ninja Theory's last game was Bleeding Ass. You know what I mean? Ninja Theory. We forget about Bleeding Edge that they killed over less than a year. That was what they had under their belt. That was an E3 announcement. But anyway, I don't know why they want people to buy them all the time. They're not making anybody better. Prove it. They don't care about Craftopia, their first game, an Xbox One exclusive. So he's saying the studio that made Palworld made Craftopia, their first game, Xbox One exclusive released. But because Palworld blew up, now they're keen to it. Hey, in the search for W's, all they get are L's. So we know that before. But thank you, Game Night, for the super chat on that one. And let's go, speaking about, L's, let's go to the NPDs that came out. My goodness. So selling Booster for a $1.50 and a Subway sandwich, and also Series X's selling for $300, $350, and having Best Buy Tech watch your kids, hook up your TV, drive you home in a full package, still could not win NPDs in December. How crazy is that? Money nor unit sales were top for Xbox in December when they were bottom dollar. Low cost, drop them out there. Package deals. They were even bundling the Series S with their own. Well, no, that was outside the United States. I'll stop there. They're bundling physical games with it. But anyway, what do you think, guys, about the NPDs coming in and Xbox still not able to capitalize on the deep discounts?
They never will.
Never will, he says.
They never will. Hands down, point blank, they never will. They won't hit NPD, I would say, in the life of their console going forward. I just don't think they have the ability to do it. I think when we look at what's going on with the industry, and I don't think they ever will. And I don't think it's anything wrong with that. I think that people just need to be what's the word? They need to realize like, okay, yeah, this is never gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm not a person who's gonna sit here and be like, oh man, poor them. It's their fault. They deserve what they get. It would be the same if Nintendo or Sony did it. They deserve what they get. They don't want to compete. They've said time after time that PlayStation, Nintendo aren't our competition, and they deserve everything that they get. And I think we're at the point in gaming, you either going to survive or you're going to move in a different way. Their way of moving is they want to eventually go third party. People don't have the realization that's what they want to do, and they're eventually going to go that route. And I just don't understand why people just can't be real with themselves and say this is where it's come to. Just expect them to go third party. Expect them to not really, you know, have MPDs or nines or freaking tens game of the year material. Just expect it. If you have that expectation that the console and your platform of choice that you're playing on is going to be subpar at all costs, then I think you're okay. As long as you're okay with playing subpar things, don't have the mindset of it's ever going to change. It's not. It would take something on a level of godlike ability to destroy what Nintendo and PlayStation's, Sony's PlayStation has built to even fathom them even coming back. I don't think it can ever happen again.
Yeah,
they had their
what's crazy,
time.
Frog, is that
it is what it is.
The fact that Piscatella has to say that the video game hardware spending ended flat versus ended flat in 2023, and growth in PlayStation 5 hardware dollar sales helped offset declines across both Xbox and Switch. PlayStation 5 ended 2023 as the best-selling hardware platform in both unit and dollar sales. Now, we know why the Switch has dropped off in the sense because there was rumors about a Switch 2. There's also it's been out forever and everybody pretty much has a Switch and they just keep buying and selling them. And we know why there may be declines in Switch year over year. But the shocking thing is that the continual decline of the Xbox consoles, when this is not the first year, and not the second year. This is the stride. And what's crazy is this year of the generation. This is your third year. Your fourth year coming into your fourth year. This is when your stock is there. This is the early adopters got it now. Voice. Consumer voice now gets to sell. Like, what's everybody gonna get? You're at the second and third phase of your console sales. So you could see with the Xbox, like a lot of the same people that bought the previous one just probably bought that one up. And even when PlayStation was hard to find and sell, it still was winning, still coming in lead in NPDs. So how concerning is this for Xbox to not be moving consoles, especially in a year that they had releases? I could tell in 2022 there was no software to move the hardware, but they had their biggest game that was marketed for years.
Starfield, yeah.
And now you cannot have a growing year, considering that Starfield is crazy because when you look at the sales, Starfield is like, whoop, like it went like free fall in software sales.
I would say this, Jazz.
It's pretty crazy.
I think that you have to look at, in my opinion, you have to look at the things that, when you look at what's most anticipated, whether it's third party, first party, a lot of things that are most anticipated games are things that are kind of still synonymous with PlayStation. I mean, Tekken 8 is pretty, Stellar Blade, Final Fantasy Rebirth, the Metal Gear Solid, Snake Eater. These are games that kind of mostly associate with PlayStation, and some that are new IPs, like Rise of the Ronin is a new IP. So, and even the
you're trying to say that there's not a lot in Xbox's arsenal right now that could turn it around. Like I said the same thing.
Not a lot.
The sense that Starfield was one of their biggest gets It had a huge acquisition behind it. The marketing was seen by investors because this wasn't just a regular game. Starfield was a movement in that they purchased a whole-ass publisher, and they owned the publisher who owned this game. So Starfield had a big audience. It had a lot riding on it, and this was the year that it came out. Like, I really don't see even what we spoke about, Avowed, Hellblade 2, Indiana Jones, none of those. I'm not saying they're bad games, let me tell you something, Jazz. But I do not see them having the weight and attention that Starfield had going into release.
I'm gonna do something,
change the minds of people.
I'm gonna say something, right? Yeah. That most Xbox people will say, because we saw 4 exclusive games that are coming to Xbox this year. So I'm just gonna name 4 exclusive games we know that are coming to PlayStation, right? So we got Stellar Blade, we got Rise of the Ronin. Now, don't mind if they're second party deals, but they're only on PlayStation. Stellar Blade, Rise of the Ronin, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Helldivers 2. I didn't see anything that they showed that looked better than any of those games. And people will say to me, well, those aren't PlayStation exclusives, they're third-party deals with some of them. I don't really think it matters. The fact that Sony went out there and said, hey, Rise of the Ronin, hey, Tecmo, we're going to fund this game, you're going to make this, it's going to be exclusive. We want you to make this for us, and it's going to happen. They got to deal with Square Enix and Final Fantasy VII. It's there. They got to deal with Stellar Blade. It may eventually come to Xbox, but as of right now, it's there. My whole thing is that, and this is what it goes back to. Me and you both said this so many times at the times. Microsoft didn't really have to go buy these studios. They had to get the deals together to get the games that were good. But even if they got the deals together for the games that were good, they still want to throw them in the service. And a lot of the publishers didn't want to put them in the service. So the only thing they could do is just go buy the whole publisher and say, it's in the service now. You have no choice.
The grind is in the chat a while, man. Friggin' Weezed saying it's a movement 100%. I can recreate you was the movement. You give the middle finger.
I mean, let's be honest, Jazz. Let's be honest, Link.
Grinding away.
Stellar Blade, Rise of the Ronin, Final Fantasy Rebirth, Helldivers. I know the games that you're doing. Anything you see better than any of these titles I just named.
No.
At that Xbox.
Just with Stellar Blade alone, like the way it looks and stuff like that, like you could tell, there's quality there in the sense of it. Like you really could see like they have this thing. And again, we get this kind of Bethesda type, sheen on everything. The jank, the Bethesda, the ZeniMax jank or whatever the hell they were. Remember, Microsoft picked up ZeniMax not when they were pumping it out and doing the best of the best. They were in trouble, and there was a reason why they were in trouble because their games were not doing too hot. And they actually had a good uplift with Deathloop, which happened to be a PlayStation exclusive, and that kind of like was their shine that they had because they weren't doing too hot prior to Deathloop. We're wrapping up with Prey and things like that. And, there was a reason why they wanted to probably sell because, they used to have their own showcase. They used to do their own E3 presentation with stage and fans and everything like that. Like they were big news for the fact for them to be like acquired. There was some reasoning for it. And again, like I said before, like you look at here's Starfield. Here's on Xbox, physical and full game digital. Starfield managed to show up at 7th for the year. So, Diablo got carried and this is Starfield everywhere. So you got above there, you got Jedi Survivor.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, you got to think about that. It's everywhere. It can be.
Diablo, Madden. So you got the big ones there, and then over Mortal Kombat. So it came in at 7, and I think Steam really carried Starfield. And Matt Piscatella said it. He said that the sales for Starfield were majority on Steam. Same thing for like Palworld, whatever we're talking about there. Here's your PlayStation.
Most gamers who play on console they purchase it like me.
Look how crazy this is.
Most people didn't.
Spider-Man came in 2nd on PlayStation for the year. These are games for January to December.
That's crazy.
Spider-Man came out in the last quarter and managed to go to 2nd.
That's crazy.
Outbeating your Call of Duties, your Maddens. both Call of Duties. Like it's pretty wild. And even God of War
freaking,
Ragnarok made on this list a year-old game. Gran Turismo 7 was in the top 20 for sales. These games
shows
have
when you take your time.
legs. Where just look at this whole list. Where are Microsoft's games from the year? Where is Redfall? Where's Pentiment?
You're not gonna see it.
Where's Pentiment?
You're not gonna see it.
It should add nothing to carry. But,
as much as these centric sites of Xbox people talk about how great Pentiment. The Pentiment didn't move a needle. Nobody's talking about Pentiment. Nobody's gonna remember that game.
Wait a second. Look how crazy
we're gonna
this
sit back and say, "Wait, I remember that game." What happened to? What's the game that came to PlayStation? It was exclusive, and everybody talked about it. Said it's gonna be the game changer, the one with the skin and the freaking the dicks and freaking alien dicks and bones. And
Scorn.
That it didn't move a needle. Everything they get, it doesn't move a needle. There's nothing that moves a needle. They have a hard time with their identity and management.
You know what I find that's very interesting here with these reports here in the NPD, and I don't know why it's still showing up, but like Starfield, it says published by Bethesda Softworks. Like it's not Xbox Game Studios like Forza Horizon. And
the reason is because they're their own entity.
They're their own entity, even though they're managed by Matt Booty. Like they're not managed like separately. Matt Booty oversees them all.
Right.
I get it's just interesting the way they reported on here for Xbox Game Studios. But look at this, Halo Infinite came back. It was at 16. This is engagement numbers on what? Oh, this is just Xbox engagement. I thought that's across everything. No, this is just Xbox engagement numbers. Halo is all the way down here. Man, poor Halo. We'll talk about poor Halo.
Yeah.
But anyway, those are your NPDs.
I think
same song, same dance. You know what?
The
last question I'll leave with the NPDs here is, can they? Let's ask this thing: is there anything that will, like? I just can't even. Nah. You know what? I think I know the answer. We're not even going to ask that. We know the answer.
Not at all.
We will
the
move
answer
on
is
to
not at all.
We'll move on to not only. Speaking of Starfield. Oh, goodness gracious. Jason Schreier stirred the nest of Twitter. Yeah, oopsies. Jason Schreier. Oopsie. I didn't do that one. We got him here.
Whatever your name is.
Get ready for the big surprise. Let me get the super chat here before we move on to Jason Schreier ripping people a new one. Cosmic Hero with the 10. Thank you so much, Cosmic Hero. 270 VIP grinder. He goes, Jez, I have a neighbor who works retail and showed me pics of piles of Xboxes not selling. They have to go.
Yeah.
The price drops are crazy and no one's buying it. Well,
the fact that I bought a Series X for $199 this holiday tells you something,
dude.
$199,
not booster.
Why did you buy one? Did you already have one?
No, so I gave it to my nephew, and basically, like I was like, I'm not playing it. My nephew plays Xbox, but then he got
to the people he don't
hold
like.
on. Gave it to my nephew, right? Because he's a big Xbox guy. But then at the same time I gave my nephew, he got a PS4 Pro. Not a PS5, a PS4 Pro. He's never owned a PlayStation system. When he got his PS4 Pro, he put his Series X back in the box and he played PS. He was like, there's so many games on PlayStation I've been wanting. And that's all he plays now is He wants a PS5, but he was like, I'm so happy having it because he's never owned a PlayStation. He's like, I don't know why I never owned a PlayStation all these years. Now he wants a PS5, and he's like, hey, even though you gave me the Series X, can I take it and get rid of it and get a PS5? I'm like, it's yours. Do what you want with it. So This holiday, I had an opportunity, brand new, get an Xbox Series X, never been opened, for $199. I was like, $199, that can't be that. So what I use it is now a CD player, media. I use it for my media device because it plays CDs. It's like the only thing in my house that plays CDs. So I was like, oh, okay. You know, at least I got a CD player in my house now.
Nephew.
That's kind of jacked up, but
so look, again, a friend of mine, she's got the PS5, a few weeks ago, and she bought her son Series X for Christmas. And she got the PS5 because she wanted to play The Last of Us because she was hooked on the television show. She wants to play the game, right? So she's been playing it. And
yeah, I haven't got the upgrade yet. I gotta play it. I gotta get today.
Ooh, we gotta talk about that.
Oh, I got the $100.
I didn't do that yet.
You know, I love the.
We gotta talk about that.
So check this out, right? So she got the game. She texts me. Let me read what she texts me. So
damn.
Find the text where she sent to me. She said, she was like, damn, I should have found it before I brought this up. But basically, she said, I'm not
that we're doing with our content, with our so
her son wanted to play Spider-Man, right? So she said, my son loves this Spider-Man game. Now that, you know, she's not really big on tech and stuff like that. She said he says it's endlessly fun. He said the way the PS5 loads so quickly is amazing. He has played the PS5 more this weekend than the Xbox, and she just got it for him for Christmas. But now he's wanting to be on her PS5, and he's not touching the Xbox.
Take it back.
So I mean, the thing about the Xbox is, she ain't gonna take it back. But the thing about it is, like, there aren't really titles on the Xbox that just move the needle. You know what I mean? There's not wow titles. If you looked at that Xbox Direct, I mean, those were some decent games, but none of them had a factor of amazement or wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was nothing about those games. That
shit.
The grindhounds, get them. We don't want that
really,
Game Pass.
There's nothing about those games. They're really just,
We don't want it. No more 2 months.
Jazz, what do you, I mean, what about those games just were like, man, I have to play those day one.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
No.
Nothing about them.
That's they are horrible at marketing games, and I think that they're very poor with telling a story with gameplay. They like to have the devs sit there and talk it all up and sit on a couch and rehearse questions, and I don't think that's the way to sell these games. Same thing with Hellblade. Like, people wanted just to see straight up gameplay. How does she go from walking to combat to story to show us the gameplay? And they don't do a good job with that. On top of that, the games that they have, they need something like that to be, because they don't really do well just showing it. Like, they don't really tell a great story, like how we just talked about Avowed. Like, it doesn't really look very well. And for a company that touted as Project Scarlet, the most powerful console, the teraflops, the Hovis method, vapor chambers, RDNA in the chip, Phil's DNA all over your face, I don't know, all this shit.
Oh, shit.
About. Oh, damn. All this shit that they talked about. Man, you don't, like, people forget. I don't understand how people just want to have selective memory and forget the hype and power. Digital Foundry was up there with a Wheaties box in their lunchroom playing with friggin' magnets. They were like, the magnet, and it goes like this way, and the X goes the magnets, and they go together like this, and they have the Hovis, the vapor chamber, and all this tech. And when you're showing your games, they are not up to standard. We'd even see that showcase didn't even specify where these games were being played. Captured on a Series X, captured on a PC. How many frame rates? 60 frames, performance. Nobody's talking about any modes or talking about what technical features these games have. Nothing. You do have a developer direct, and they're not talking about developer shit. Like, they should be talking like, well, we, added this. We're going to be running this at 60 frames. We want to have a performance mode forever. They're not talking any of that stuff. What are you going to do? A tweet right before Hellblade releases going performance mode coming later? Like, they just do not market their games very well. And I said Starfield was that game because it had more than just gamers' mindshare. It had business mindshare. It was a big deal with a $7 billion purchase behind it. This had to be the game, and they didn't. I don't think they even showed it that well. They hit it all the loading screens, and people got duped. And, you look at here, Jason Schreier is even saying right here with Metacritic, 15 outlets that scored higher than a 95, 5 of them Xbox in their name. He goes here that the performance, the review scores, that it wouldn't even hit a Metacritic of 83 if it wasn't for the fan sites. Now, I'm sure the same thing can be said with PlayStation, but we do talk about Xbox the Ocho here. Xbox Mondo, Xbox Generation, Xbox the Balls, Xbox the Ochos, all these different Xbox websites that just gush and just give it Windows Central, Windows Phone Central, 10s out of 10s, 10s to 10 to 10 to 10, all these 10s, all these Xbox Mondos, Xbox Generation, Xbox, all these things. And, Jason Schreier just kind of wrote an opinion piece looking at Metacritic, 15 of the outlets that scored higher than a 95. 5 of them have Xbox in their name. I don't think anyone truly believes the aggregate score fits the critical consensus. So he stirred the nest on this.
He's right, though. We've said this before. We've said that Microsoft, the same game on the Xbox and the same game on the PlayStation, you'll see maybe 30 people reviewed on Xbox, and that Xbox will sit at a 92, and then we're sitting at that PlayStation like, why is the PlayStation at an 89? It's because they got 140 people who reviewed it. Microsoft don't have as many people reviewing it, but the people they do have, they have more Xbox-centric reviewers reviewing their stuff. That's why they seem to get higher scores for their own first-party titles. Sony doesn't have as many. And people may say, oh, no, Sony has it. They don't have as many. There's way more Xbox-centric reviewers reviewing Xbox game, giving them higher scores. And then you have people who are really biased, like, what's that one website? Stevia or whatever. Survivor, whatever. Yeah, they don't like PlayStation. They purposely go out of their way to make sure they rate anything that's on PlayStation lower.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be,
we've seen the copies and withholding them from other outlets. Remember that whole thing?
We've seen this with reviewers, and what Jason Schreier is saying, he shouldn't be. I'm not a fan of his, by the way, but he shouldn't be freaking ostracized for telling the truth. Like, he's telling the truth. If these sites, if you took out the PlayStation and the Xbox sites, PlayStation typically would always score higher with the other sites. But if you took out the Xbox sites from Xbox, their games would be high 7s, mid high 6s. Like, these sites help them get these scores that they get, and I think he's spot on. We've said it so many times. A lot of sites that are Xbox centric help the review scores of some of their games, and these games are probably 7s, maybe 6 9s at the highest, maybe 7 5s at the highest, but for some reason you'll get a game like Halo that's half baked, and you'll get a review site that's Xbox centric, give it a 10, give it a 9. Yeah.
And this is what he's speaking about. So
then they'll come out. They'll give Horizon like Survivor did that. They'll come out and give Horizon like a 7, but then give Halo a 10. A game that wasn't complete, that didn't have. And I'm like, I don't understand this. They're two different games, but I don't understand. You just gave this game a 7, but you gave this game a perfect score when this game is missing everything. I don't get it.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
There they are,
and we know what's going on. We can see it. We can clearly see it. Yeah.
We can clearly see it. Like the Mondo Xbox Addict, Somos Xbox Era, Mondo Xbox, the Xbox Hub.
We already know, man.
Xbox Achievements.
They are not
the Tavern,
going to
Windows Central, True Achievements.
The only game I've ever seen them really,
but I think there are a lot more Xbox ones.
Yes, the only game I've seen them relatively tell the truth about, because it was so bad you couldn't skate past it, was Redfall.
Redfall, there was Universal. We want that.
Redfall was like the only game that I honestly think they had no choice but to say, "Damn, we have to give this."
So this is what Jason Schreier was citing, saying that it wouldn't even hit a Metacritic of 83. So what he says here,
it wouldn't. No,
he says here, it may not seem like fantastic performance for the studio's first game since it being acquired by Microsoft, but there are some mitigating factors. Starfield wasn't released for the competing PlayStation console, received poor reviews, although the aggregate score is deceptively high thanks to various Xbox fan sites. And you want to know what? A little game that we're going to talk about later on had the same fate, Halo Infinite. It was fluffed up by a lot of people. I remember Paul Tassi saying this is the next thing, and then everybody 4 or 5 months later was like, "Oh yeah, Halo
made the list.
Halo really wasn't that good,
man."
They blew up those internet numbers. Halo, and they even voted it for Player's
You know what
Voice.
It showed, Jez?
Player's Voice Award.
Jez, you know what?
Starfield couldn't even win that one.
You know what happened? You know what happened a couple months later? after Halo released and people realized like this game is not it, what happened is, and a lot of people were going to realize what happened is the player counts died.
Yeah,
it didn't even take. It didn't even take like it died, and they were like, "Yo, there's barely 20,000 people online playing this game," and then it died again. 15,000. It got to the point where they were like, "Yo, there's barely above 10,000 people on this Halo game," and what's so crazy about it is, this was information that was sitting right there, but once those reviews came out and they seemed good, Microsoft was quick to tell you how many people had attempted to play it and how many skulls were picked up. And that's all they focus on. And they didn't care that the game was dead. They just want to tell you the perception. Microsoft is a company of perception. The perception is this is what it did in the first blah, 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 blah. But it's dead.
Yeah.
It's dead.
So
and this is my last point. It goes to show you that a game like Days Gone on PlayStation, which was considered critically, it was considered metacritically a failure. It still sold over 10 million copies. And they didn't even reproduce a sequel. They said, no, we're not doing it. The game was a success. It produced, but there's those first critical, and it just goes to show you, like, sometimes, like, it's one of those things you like, damn, they sold over 10 million copies. We know Halo didn't reach no 10 million. We know Halo is dead. But for some reason, the perception is...
You think Starfield is that? I think Halo was even more egregious with what Schreier was talking about than Starfield.
Yeah,
because
it was. The numbers are fluff.
And the problem that I had with the Halo reviews was that a lot of it was based off of good faith. Like, they did not have things at launch, and instead they promised like seasonal updates and everybody's like, oh, they'll have everything in there by March. Give it the 99, 95 that it was. And I think that was, and I think a lot of them took it on the chin because they realized that they got duped. Like, they got lied to because they could not achieve seasonality, and now we're finding out they can't even do seasons anymore. And basically, they basically capped for a game that was sold on promises. They removed all the features. They told you what they're going to remove. That doesn't tell you. If I tell you I'm punching the nuts, I'm punching the nuts. It still hurts. So just because they told you this shit wasn't going to have it doesn't mean that you give it a 90 and look the other way. And that was the problem that I had with Halo. So I didn't even Starfield. Screw Starfield. I think Halo was more egregious by these sites giving it the friggin' extra scores that it needed, because a lot of it was based off of just promises like, trust us, dude, we'll have it in season 2. Season 3 will really bring that feature. And season 3 wound up being 6 months, over 6 months. They couldn't even get it there. Ridiculous. JP Loco with a 5. He goes, playing Uncharted 4 in the lot collection got me wanting to go back and play Last of Us before I tackle Last of Us Part 2. Forgot how great Uncharted 4 was. Yeah, I went back and played those too when that lot collection came out. Uncharted 4 was absolutely incredible. I beat that twice already there. And Zero Steel, member for 8 months, goes, the media just realized them now? Well, we already knew about them for the longest. Damn, fuck the media, he says. Yeah, that's right.
We knew about it, and it's not that the media just realized it.
I just think he doubled down. Jason Schreier doubled down on it because he got called out because he said Starfield was not because that's what he basically wrote in the article, was that, like, Starfield wasn't the huge success in his summary of what it was supposed to be, and which we know. People are going to deny that, but like, I think we could sit here and say the same thing, that Starfield didn't hit the way it needed to hit, and it was expected to hit. It needed to be what how Baldur's Gate took the world by storm. Actually, even how Palworld is taking the world by storm. FOMO. I tried out the game because everybody's like 3 million FOMO. Everybody's playing it. I'm like, well, let me try it. That needed to happen with their games, and Starfield needed to be that game. And Starfield was easily, when people exposed it, because you remember, they really babied that game. They were taking down people talking about it early, showing gameplay. They made sure that the narrative was very focused with that game, because they had to protect it for the reviews and stuff like that. Like, I felt like there was. And if you look, where was Phil and Todd on Starfield interview? Where's that one? Because I always talk about this thing, and this is the other thing, speaking about Starfield. Here it is. 4 months ago. Look at where they are. You think Phil was at shaking hands and kissing babies. No, look where Phil went on release day for Starfield. Where is he? Yeah, well, let's see. Where did Phil go on the Starfield release day? Let's go see. Let's go see where he showed up. He showed up over at Bethesda going, fix your loading screens? No.
Launching its
Here he
highly
is.
anticipated exclusive Xbox game, Starfield, today. The game coming from Bethesda.
Now,
it's a studio
wait, I'm showing it right now. Frog, look.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Back in 2021. Our Steve Kovacs
Oh, excuse me. What was that, ma'am? Like, Microsoft's new bet on gaming. Microsoft has been here for 22 friggin' years. What do you mean Microsoft's new bet on gaming? What are we doing here? Like, what is going on? But this is where they were on launch day. No, he wasn't on the beach. There you go. Watch.
Back in 2021.
Business.
Our Steve Kovacs joins us now with the executives behind the launch. Steve, over to you.
Hey, sir. Yes, thanks. And joining me, it's Phil Spencer, Microsoft's gaming CEO, and
Wait,
Todd Howard.
Wait. No. He needs his proper intro. Who was that again, sir?
Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer, baby! Let's go! Yes! 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 Yes!
Okay, now we could start.
So,
wait, no. Listen to the video.
Thanks for joining us.
Sweet.
Phil, I'm going to start with you now. Going to the
delay. Look, dude, even today. Phil Spencer and Todd Howard demonstrated Starfield with their own loading times. You even hear that? He welcomed them and they were delayed in their response. So they demonstrated the Starfield loading times. Watch.
You're my #1 customer.
Stakes are huge. We're nearly 3 years rather, into the day. Stakes are huge.
Wait.
Thanks for joining us.
Let's see the loading screens.
Bethesda Studio. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us.
Loading.
Phil, I'm going to start with you now. Going into this launch today, stakes are huge. We're nearly 3 years rather.
Oh my God, Frog, you gotta go see that. I wish you could see that live. They had their
I see it,
dude. They had their own loading.
I saw that.
Sure, welcome. Thanks for joining us. They're like, thanks, Steve.
Huge. We're nearly 3 months.
Wait, all right, now we'll go play it. No more loading screens.
I'm just sitting here shaking my head.
Wait, I'm just gonna play it through. No more loading screens. Here we go. Let's hear where they were talking about this game. Where gamers are on CNBC. This is where the gamers are watching. This is where Phil and Todd Howard are.
Going into this launch today, stakes are huge. We're nearly 3 years rather into the Xbox cycle. Still haven't really seen a big critical and financial success on the Xbox side of things. What are the stakes here for Starfield? Is this the kind of game that you could think start driving more console sales and more Game Pass subscriptions, Phil?
Well, we're definitely seeing huge demand for the game. The game has just been in preview. We've had more players for any next-gen exclusive than we've had this generation all up. Today is when tens of millions of Game Pass players are going to get to play. It's the most wish-listed game we've ever had between Bethesda and Xbox.
Hold on, pause. He said tens of millions. What happened to the 25s of millions? Why are we going to tens of millions? All right, anyway. Back to, oh my God, there's a Phil Spencer face. We got him. A new one for the grind sport. Wait, I can continue with Phil Spencer. He has more stuff to spew.
Stop. Enough.
No, please continue.
Xbox on Steam.
Crap.
Just a lot of momentum, and big game releases are a lot of fun, and it's great to be part of it.
Todd, I'll turn to you. You've been working on this game, for the better part of a decade now. It's out now. How do you feel? What's the reception been like? And is that translating into people logging on today and downloading and playing Starfield for the first time?
I mean, it's just incredible for us here. It has been a long journey. I'm in the studio. We're just overjoyed with the excitement about the game and getting it in people's hands finally. And really, with our games, we build these gigantic worlds that transport you, but it's really when everybody plays the game that it really comes alive. So we're excited. The games we've done in the past have been played not just hugely at launch, but for years and years. And we're going on 12 years since Skyrim, so we couldn't be more excited today.
Yeah, and Phil,
oh man, did he just said Starfield will be playing for years and years and years. Oh man.
Yeah, and Phil, that kind of leads
Wait,
into
what
my
was that again, Todd Howard?
more excited.
Not just today, but meanwhile, we watch this thing go bloop right off the sales charts. Bloop. Let's see. Todd Howard, I got something to see for you. Let's see. Wait, let's see. Starfield. Because you know what? Grinders, I'm going to tell you something as well. You know what Palworld has given us? It has shown us that now we could use Steam database and play accounts on Steam to our heart's content to show the quality and reception of Xbox games. So I want to thank Palworld for doing its job and allowing us to justify Steam numbers now to show the success of Xbox games. Thank you very much. The success of Game Pass. Thank you, Palworld, because now SteamDB has taken on a life of its own because we weren't allowed to do this when we showed it for Halo, but now we can. So thank you so much for Palworld for doing their job. And here we go. Todd Howard, what was that? We're playing for years upon years upon years. Well, all peak time was 330,000 people. Right now, you're hitting a peak of 11,000 people. So tell me about those 12 years again, Todd Howard. Let's see that again.
In Skyrim, so we couldn't be more excited today.
Wait, what was that again? How many years?
Skyrim, so just hugely at launch, but for years and years, and we're going on 12 years in Skyrim, so we couldn't be more excited today.
Yeah, and Phil, that kind of leads into my next question for you. This game, Starfield, is an exclusive to Xbox and PC. Going into this, there were some people who were a little upset that they weren't going to be able to play on other platforms, but this seems to be kind of your strategy. Acquire a studio, maybe keep the legacy franchises alive. We know you plan to do that with Call of Duty if and when the Activision deal closes through. But should we expect to see Starfield on other platforms ever, or is this what we should expect moving forward? New games from acquired studios, exclusive to Xbox?
Well, you use the term exclusive, but if we look at it today, people on Xbox Series S, our affordable console, Series X, the most powerful console on...
Excuse me? Okay, most powerful console. So you're still labeling as that? Okay.
PC and via cloud, and cloud enables any web-enabled device to be able to play Starfield. We think this game is going to be available to literally hundreds of millions of people on the devices that they already own, and looking to make this game as accessible as it can be to players.
Why didn't he just say no? That was a simple answer. No, this is an Xbox platform exclusive. Thank you very much for your time. He didn't say no. Frogz, your prediction may be correct. Phil was asked that question. Grinders. See, this is the thing. You come here, hit that like button over 360. It's an omen. We got 360 viewers. We had almost around 400. We got 360 viewers. It's a legacy right now. Grinders, this is where they ask the hard questions. And this is the information that they're not sharing with you. Grinders, this is what we find here at the Gaming Grindhouse. We find the Philness wherever it is. And we find it wherever it may lie. We got the Philness, and we get him.
Philness.
He could have just said no. Frog, they asked him if Starfield was going to be on any other platforms, and he gave them the okie dokie. He gave them the...
Like they always do.
He gave them the okie dokie. He pulled out his fingers.
They do this all the time.
Dude, he pulled out his fingers. He could have just said no. Oh man, crap. Frog, get him, Frog. They're pushing you. They want to give you that extra month of Game Pass. Tell them no. Tell them we're not having it.
They do this all the time.
Oh shit!
Look,
they're coming here too.
I got
Phil. No,
stop it.
Phil,
stop it.
I don't want it, Phil.
Stop it.
It's like, but Grinds. It's just a free month. I don't want it, Phil. Get away.
I got bones to pick with PlayStation 2. You know,
but wait, we're talking
Microsoft
about the
as
Phil
bad
Nest.
as they are.
We're talking about the Phil Nest, Frog. We got to talk about the Phil
But
Nest.
I'm used to the Phil Nest.
No. They asked them the question: is Starfield gonna be everywhere? And Phil Spencer gave them the okie dokie. Phil Spencer, let's
give him the okie dokie. Yeah,
he didn't say no. He had to load a little bit, and then he went to proceed going, "Well, cloud makes you play it everywhere, no matter where you are." Phil, that don't sound like a no. What are we doing here, Phil? Explain.
Well, you use the term exclusive, but if we look at it today, people on Xbox Series S, our affordable console, Series X, the most powerful console on PC and via cloud, and cloud enables any web-enabled...
But he didn't ask about any of those platforms. He asked about the PS5. You know, the Mark Cerner PS5. It's about the power, about architecture. It's about the smooth sounds of Mark Cerny whispering in your ear about the PS5 and talking about the SSD. I'm talking about that SSD right now. Mark Cerny, the power of the PS5. The guy asked about the PS5. He didn't ask about all your okie dokie horse shit, little Timmy playing with a strap on the phone. He didn't ask about any of that shit. He asked about the PS5. People want to know, where is Starfield? This was at launch before they knew it was trash. Now they want to know, where is it? Phil Spencer, answer the goddamn question.
Starfield on other platforms ever, or is this what we should expect moving forward? New games from
You're my number one
He
customer.
asked the question that everybody's asking.
We know you plan to do.
Phil put his ass on MSNBC. You know, where all the gamers are. That's why he went there where the gamers are, because that's where the gamers are. On an afternoon, they're watching the goddamn stock market, because that's where the gamers are. And Phil Spencer took his Uber driver, Todd Howard, that said, let's go and talk about goddamn Starfield on MSNBC. For I don't know why, because that's where the gamers go. That's where he has to sign that ass.
Do that with Call of Duty.
But you're going to get those questions, Phil. Here we go.
If and when the Activision deal closes through. But should we expect...
Ask that question again, sir. I want this. I want everybody to hear this for those in the back.
Today.
Yeah, and Phil, that kind of leads...
Todd Howard talking about people playing for 12 years. They came and played for 6 months. Let's go.
Into my next question for you. This game, Starfield, is an exclusive to Xbox and PC. Going into this, there were some people who were a little upset that they weren't going to be able to play on other platforms, but this seems to be kind of your strategy. Acquire a studio, maybe keep the legacy franchises alive. We know you plan to do that with Call of Duty if and when the Activision deal closes through. But should we expect to see Starfield on other platforms ever, or is this what we should expect moving forward? New games from acquired studios exclusive to Xbox?
Well, you use the term exclusive, but if we look at it today, people on Xbox Series S, our affordable console, Series X, the most powerful console on PC and via cloud, and cloud enables any web-enabled device to be able to play Starfield. We think this game is going to be available to literally hundreds of millions of people on the devices that they already own, and looking to make this game as accessible as it can be to players.
Okay, so maybe still exclusive, though.
The game is available on so many different places where people can go play. Definitely on the console. You're going to play it on my Xbox Series S or Series X, and we're seeing great demand for the console and for the game on the console.
Well, Phil, Todd, that's all we got time for. Thank you so much for joining us. Carl, Sarah, I'll send it back to you.
Why is it so difficult for this man? Just, you make the friggin' product, dude. Why? Why is it so difficult? Why is it so difficult?
Philness.
Why? Why, Phil? Why?
Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer! Yes! 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 Yes!
Would you ship that? What you just played?
We ain't found shit.
I hope this is not true.
How can he just say, like, what are we doing? Like, he can't just say it. The guy, like, major fat pause. I can't believe it. You wonder why people have to ask these questions. Like, doesn't this drive it? How is this person celebrated like that guy who passed a friggin' kidney stone yelling out his name? Why? How is this guy like, you just said the most valuable console, the most powerful console. You're hyping up those consoles. The guy just asked you. So Xbox exclusive, right? Let's hear it again.
Can be to players.
Okay, so maybe still exclusive, though.
The game is available on so many different places where people can go play. Definitely on the console. You're going to play it on my Xbox Series S or Series X, and we're seeing great demand for the console and for the game on the console.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow? Yo! I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes. Keep firing, assholes!
Guys, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. He went from suck to blow. Oh, man.
You have me right. Con men, thieves, degenerates, lowlifes, thugs, criminals.
I don't get it, dude. I do not get it. Oh.
Game over.
Like how? And you wonder why. Go buy an Xbox. You got dudes on the internet going buy an Xbox. Meanwhile, Phil can't even answer the question if it's exclusive. You spent $7 billion to buy Todd Howard's Uber ass who's standing over there wearing his friggin' Uber shirt. He drove your ass to the interview. You bought his ass for $7 billion. I own your ass. This guy is asking, you launched this game. What did the lady say? Let's hear what the lady had to say. Starfield, what was this? Ma'am, what was this?
Xbox game Starfield. Launching its highly anticipated exclusive Xbox game Starfield today. The game coming from Bethesda. It's a studio Microsoft acquired for $7.5 billion back in 2021. Our Steve Kovac joins us now with the executives behind the launch. Steve, over to you.
Hey, Sarah. Yes, thanks. And joining me, it's Phil Spencer, Microsoft's gaming CEO, and Todd Howard, director of Microsoft's Bethesda studio. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us.
Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer!
Dude, I don't get it.
Let's go! Yes!
Hey.
Yes!
I don't get it. Just say exclusive, thank you, good night. But he didn't. And anyway. I don't get it, Frog. Frog, you got those, take care of those things? We're going to do just a rundown
No,
here.
I'm still here.
There we go. So, I'm just going to, so we got the Phil Spencer dude. He can't commit that this thing's there. Well, anyway, there's our Starfield segment.
I want to tell you I had a big disappointment with Sony in the last couple of days.
Well, did you see that thing? Speaking about what he was just talking about, we're going to jump right down to this PlayStation Everywhere thing. Did you see their guy?
Now, this is what I don't know about.
All right. So here we got, talking about this whole thing. Let's here he is. The PlayStation CEO. He talked about PlayStation Everywhere in an interview with the bank. Oh, he's doing the bank interviews again. Oh, damn. But remember, I'm going to tell you what he said was, no, we don't do that here. We don't do that here. We don't do what he said was. We're going to talk about what he said. He said it will be ubiquitous. Wherever there is computing, users will be able to play their favorite games seamlessly. Why PlayStation will remain the core product, we will be expanding our gaming experiences to PC, mobile, and cloud. That's very crystal clear. What did he just say? PlayStation will remain our core product. We will expand our gaming experiences, which they have been doing, to PC, mobile, and cloud. And then he goes on to say, people usually play one game at a time, Game Pass, so that all you can eat type many games may not be so valuable compared with video streaming services. So we'll have a kind of balance or hybrid service on PlayStation Network, a subscription as well as pay per content. Grinders. What have we been saying here for all these years? After all these years, what have we been saying? Balance, not the smorgasbord Netflix of gaming. It is a balance. Quote, people usually, and who said the same thing? Straussnick over at GTA, Frog, said the same exact thing. Gamers don't consume games like movies. They don't binge watch. They get invested in a game and play it one at a time. You're not going to get so invested in especially with these battle passes and all this other shit. You're not going to get all invested money deep in something and then say, well, okay, well, I'm going to jump to this game right now. You're going to go and finish it, especially if it's a good game. So people usually play one game at a time. Strauss-Zelnick said the same exact thing. Usually play one game at a time. So all you can eat type of many games may not be so valuable compared with a video streaming service. So when they compare it to Netflix of gaming, that's not how we consume games. So we have to have a balance or hybrid service on PlayStation Network, a subscription as well as pay-per-content, a balance. Foam Stars is that balance. Put that in the service, sayonara. Good luck. Skeet skeets, Foam Stars. Is a balance. This game belongs in VR, put it in VR. This game belongs as a service, subscription game, put it on PC, put it on the store, put it in the service. That's where that goes. But when you got Uncharted 6 coming out and you got God of War's ass, bullshit, they're not going to service. That's pay-per-content. That's the $70 high-quality value. That don't go there. Not as a one-fit pony. It doesn't go into there. That's what he's talking about. And he says, PlayStation will remain our core product. We will expand our experiences to PC, mobile, and cloud. I'm interested in what the hell that mobile thing is. I don't know if that's... He specifies mobile and cloud separately. I don't know if they're going to... I know they acquired some studios where they have some games considered to launch on mobile. And I know Nintendo does the same thing. And then the cloud, with, the 4K streaming to the PlayStation and also the portal. And you can even see it. The portal, the cloud, it all is the core of it is the console, the PS5. The console is the core of it. Now, whether they separate that out, they do when they put it on PC. But that is not until the core has done its job. They make sure that the game has done its job for the primary core product. Then they expand. Not put everything everywhere. Blech. We're sorry. We'll fix it later. Oh, yeah, it's not polished on PC. Oh, Xbox not taking advantage of 60 frames. It's okay. Just send it out there and we'll send an apology out. We'll fix it over time. And we'll watch those numbers plummet. No. That doesn't do anything for your franchises. That doesn't do anything for the games. That makes the games just thrown out there. That doesn't build franchise. That doesn't build confidence in your consumer. You got to satisfy all markets when you put this game out. And if you can't do that, then you got to change your strategy. If Halo's the way it is because it's everywhere, you got to change your strategy. If Forza Motorsport is the way it is because you smack that around everywhere, you got to change your strategy. If Redfall came out lacking frame rates and polishedness and AI because you decided to put it on every friggin' device on screens that you want it to be, you got to change your strategy because the quality of the games are suffering. You need to identify the platforms where it needs to be and make sure that that game runs the best and optimized for those platforms. And if it happens to be that the console running it the best, then you launch it at the console first. And that's where it goes. And then you go put it on PC. What's wrong with that? It doesn't look like you're getting what? So you have a big engagement number that drops off in 2 days? For what? To go on MSNBC and load screens and go like, blah, blah, blah. You can't even go up there with confidence on your own goddamn MSNBC and say it's friggin' exclusive. We spent $7.5 billion for their ass. It's an Xbox exclusive. Suck it. It's not going anywhere. Instead, he talks about everything else. He doesn't say anything about Xbox as the core. This dude's asked the same friggin' question about gaming, and this Sony guy is like, the PlayStation's the core, but we'll expand other places. And all you can eat is not the best way to go. We will have a balance or a hybrid. There's nothing wrong with subscription gaming grinders. There's nothing wrong with all you can eat. There's nothing wrong with that. But if the games are compromised because of the services and their strategy of trying to get more people to play, then that's not a good strategy. And that's always been our point. Frogz, what do you think that this dude, what do you think about his comments, Yoshida's? fighting the grindhounds. Frog, what do you think about Yoshida's comments about the hybrid and about this?
I mean, I understand where he's coming from. I understand what he's saying. I don't think that it's been said before. I don't think that that PlayStation or Nintendo or a lot of other companies for that matter could live in a service-based ecosystem like Microsoft's Xbox is trying to do with Game Pass. I don't think it's something that they can do. I don't think it's something they can afford. And even if they did it, I think the quality of the things we see changes. I think it changes.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I just think it's two different executives, right?
Right, two different executives. But for everybody who primarily games on Xbox and they want PlayStation, Nintendo to follow the way of Xbox, you want the game industry to die. That will kill and crush and crash the game industry.
Frog, there hasn't been proof it works, and that's the thing. These games being everywhere.
That's right. There you go, Jez. You just said it. There's no proof that it actually works. Everything that we've seen from the time it came out until now, there's no growth, and the proof is it's failing. It does not promote people to be in your service. What it does is it says, well, hey, guess what? You're in this service. It's 16 data. And and the other thing people have to look at too is when a company spends, even though we're talking about a multi-trillion-dollar company, we're talking about a company that's there with Apple and revenue. It doesn't mean they want to lose money. How do they grow after you just spent almost $70 billion? How do you get that money back? How do you make that money back? How you make that money back is you become a publisher. This is something that Sega couldn't do because they didn't have the financial means, and they realized we have to get out of the hardware. I think at a certain point, Microsoft will look and say, we no longer make hardware. We're a software company. Maybe we'll have this service and built-in TVs on this little stick and so forth, and we'll just put our other games that we need to day and date here, but we can't afford to do the hardware anymore. They don't make money.
Well, there was a rumor going around about that they're going to consider OEMs to make their next cloud device, similar to how they make like OEMs like Dell and Asus and Acer make computers. They might make them make versions of a console.
And here's the other thing,
Jess. True or not,
I still think
that's what the rumor was.
I still think cloud is a way we can play, but I still think cloud is very far for it to be the standard is very far away.
Yeah,
we're still not there. Look, let me tell people something, and they may not know this. They may. Our energy infrastructure in this country is so subpar that all we have to do, and I hate to say it like this, but all somebody would have to do is take out 5 major power stations out of the 500 or so we have, and it would shut the grid down across the country. So what makes people think that we're ready for this cloud streaming when our electrical infrastructure in this country?
5 years ago saying this is for 5 years, and we're here.
We're not ready for it. The government won't spend $10 billion to fix the network infrastructure in this company dealing with our electricity.
5G.
What makes you think that
we're supposed to change the world? Remember,
we're not ready for it. We never will be ready for it. It's going to take decades upon decades upon decades. This is something that maybe you see, in the 2130s or 2150s. This is not something you see. And in 2024,
they said 5G was going to save everything, and we're going to be up to
Microsoft and Xbox they said something that I think that they saw the writing on the wall themselves. Hey, we want to have 130 plus million subscribers by this year, or we may think about exiting the hardware market. That's going to happen. It's going to happen. They're not only losing ground. You're getting outsold 7-1, 5-1, 9-1 in places.
There was supposed to be around the projection on that chart that they showed. It was supposed to be around 50 million now. Remember 50?
They're nowhere near that.
Around 25. That's why they changed their whole cloud strategy by kind of giving it to NVIDIA, giving it to Ubisoft. They've changed a lot of
enjoy.
Stuff. They changed
for all of you people that play primarily on Xbox. Enjoy what you're playing now, because the times of it becoming them being a publisher and things being multi-plat is coming.
From
And
5G to 3Gs.
Don't be mad when you see this next generation of console come around and you're like, damn, Sony's PS5 sold 100 plus million consoles again, and Xbox has barely sold 40, 50 million again. You know, if that. Yeah. And so just prepare your mindset. So it's something that would have to drastic, and the only thing that could drastically change for them to improve is for them to say, we're no longer gonna support hardware. I mean, we're no longer gonna do hardware. We're gonna support this last iteration of hardware, and we're gonna put everything everywhere. That's the only way they truly make money. That's the only way they really get people will give a good warm reception. And a lot of people will say, damn, if this is your last hardware hurrah, then guess what? I'm just going to go buy a PlayStation. They'll buy PlayStation droves, and PlayStation will be very successful.
It seems like they're afraid to talk about the console. Like, just like that interview. Like, how does he not boast from the chest? He's like afraid to sell that product.
Because they had their fanboys believe that PC and Xbox is the same thing, when Steam and Microsoft couldn't be farther apart. Microsoft wants to be Steam. Microsoft is a software company. We know what they want to be.
Yeah, right.
We
they
know
just
what
want
they
to be a host
do.
for games
the way,
and do that.
Right.
They
and
tried
the way they're
the
going about doing it.
Failed. Just like what Josh said. How many times did they start something early and pull out before everyone starts? Cloud will be the same. You're right. Cloud, they already jumped off of Cloud. They're talking about AI now. They want to jump on that bandwagon. What happened to Cloud leadership? They had and you know what?
Servers
in the ocean. Right? Remember that?
I'm honestly
offside Florida.
I'm honestly for anything that can drastically change the game. And if AI can make a game and that game is badass, then I want to see it. But what I'm saying at this point right now once again, you're talking about something that's unproven. It's always
been around for enough to get some data to show how it proved. But Microsoft keeps pivoting on this thing.
Check this out, Jazz. And this is the other thing nobody's really talking about. We just had this show. They showed 4 games coming to their ecosystem this year, right? Which is pretty daggone good. But E3, we know E3 is no longer a thing. So you show these. Oh God, stop!
Feed them. True Virgil says feed them.
So you show these things now. What do you show around the time that E3 was going to be here? Are we going to see brand new things we've never seen?
We're going to see Fable again, right? Because we saw so much of Fable. Or Perfect Dark.
Well, guess what? Fable's not coming out this year. Perfect Dark's not coming out this year. Look, they got 4 games coming out this year.
Jones coming out this year. They just had a 24 on there. That could easily just push that game out.
Let's be honest. Out of the 4 games that we know of, I think their biggest one, as far as success, the biggest possibility is going to be Hellblade.
No, I think Indiana Jones. I think Indiana Jones.
Ooh,
I don't think Hellblade.
You think Indy might be bigger than
come out to a whimper. I'm
hoping Indy is. I'm hoping Indy is great.
Wait, listen, I'm not hoping that Hellblade comes out and doesn't like. It's unfortunate, but I don't think Hellblade 2. I looked at the polls. People were voting on what they were hyped for. They were hyped for Indiana Jones. Hellblade was the third. Like,
more people were hyped for Indiana Jones.
It was Indiana Jones, Avowed, and Hellblade. Hellblade is not going to have the clout. It's going to be the best looking, which I can't believe why Microsoft.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the best looking.
Pushing to Hellblade and showing more of it, like as a demonstration, and hyping up the Xbox Series X with Hellblade. But who knows what frame rate that thing's going to run at? But unfortunately, I don't think Hellblade is that game for them. It's going to be Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones is going to have the lore of the IP, which whatever Indiana Jones fans are.
So that's going to be their. That's going to be their Uncharted this year. So that's what I think.
I think Indiana Jones like that being their thing. Yo, what's up, Peter?
Because right now, don't they have 2 fall games coming out?
Well, that's
one
the other
summer
thing.
game
From their release, Frog, they really don't have anything until May. They don't have anything until May with Hellblade. So they don't. There's nothing for the first quarter. So Phil's like, I could see it. I could see a big release from us every quarter.
So
he already lied. He already Phil Nest everybody.
So I got a question for you, Jazz.
Well,
and I know this is going to go a whole different way.
Oh no, let me read the super chats before you do the question.
Yeah, I got a question.
All right.
It's a big question.
Oh, damn. Oh, my goodness. Does it involve?
It's a big one.
Filness.
All right, let me get
No,
this.
it involves PlayStation.
Oh, damn. Okay. So let me get this one. So let's see. Veggie, 4-month VIP, he goes, Xbox has lost the most important fight in this video gaming business to have relevant game engines, which are up to date and continuously updated. Yes, you're right, Veggie. Shit Space is an example, which I'm going to get on that Halo ass soon. Don't worry. Master Cheeks is going to have it coming to him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Pause. JP Logo with a 5. Halo Infinite was supposed to be the definitive Halo for the next decade.
There you go.
Oh, you're reading my mind, JP. 3 months later, and they're already talking about the next Halo. Seasonality has become no season. Twisted Sync with the 2. He goes, we 360 no scoping the filness. That's right. No scope. Scoping from booty. And,
excuse
shit,
me.
Pause. Damn, frog shitting out the mouth. Man. And then Kali Yuga with the 5.
Excuse me.
He goes, according to NPD. That's all right, Frog. I'll match it before I read that super chat. You got that? You got booty in the house. Kali Yuga. Coming at both sides. Oh, shit. It's coming at both sides. Kali Yoga with the 5. He goes, according to NPD, subscriptions are stagnant. Only 10% of the market. That is right. So subscriptions are stagnant. So even with Sony's strategy, what he just talked about, saying balance, dude, when you are balanced, when you are balanced, you could easily be agile. You could say, well, okay, just like with subscription gaming, and Akali makes a really good point, because just like with subscription gaming, remember they were doing the battle passes, the gas services. Sony was able to pivot that strategy because they have other outlets. Microsoft cannot pivot Game Pass. They can't be like, oh, you know what? Yeah, Hellblade is not going to be in Game Pass. We changed all my Indiana. Yeah, he's not going to be in Game Pass. He's going to be a $70 product. You can't. But if you have a little bit of gas, a little bit of gas, pause, and you got a little bit of VR, and you got a little bit of subscription gaming, Foam Stars, or P-Rock says a Skeet Scars, you got a little bit of PS Plus, you got high budget $70 games, you could easily be agile and do what you want. What's not working? Hey, gas is not turning out real well. They're shutting those games down a month. You know what? Pull out. Focus on first-party games. First-party single-player games, dude. High-quality games. Let's focus on that. Gas ain't the shit. But when you are all in on services and everything goes to service everywhere, it is so hard for Microsoft to be agile and flexible with that strategy. Instead, they're spending tons of money. They're clueless. Quality's all over the place. There's indecisiveness in their way they talk about their platforms and how they talk about their games and uncertainty in the quality of what they're showing. And they can't even define where the game is being played when they show the game. All those factors come from a company that's constrained by their vision and not by what they're good at. And that's why where you look at a strategy of balanced and it goes where it needs to go, you could easily adjust depending on the market. If gas takes off, you focus on gas. Gas is not taking off, pull back. Let's not. You could be flexible. But if Sony had nothing else and they bet all in on gas games, they're screwed. If gas turns out not to be it, and that's why they got to stay like that. And that's why I think that strategy is better for us, because we're going to get games for the game. We're not going to get games for the service. And the problem is when you get games that are built for a service, the games will be compromised. And that's the problem. Get Frog, answer your question.
So, I know we still have yet to talk about WWE.
I'm going to right now. I got it up. Let's do it.
And Foam Stars.
Foam Stars.
Yeah, but I want to talk about, before we start talking about Foam Stars W, I want to talk about another big
Foam Stars is done. I'm not really. That's going in plus. That's all you need to know about Foam Stars.
Yes,
and WWE will run down the stuff.
So I want to talk about a big PlayStation game that recently came out that I purchased for $10, and it was The Last of Us Part 2 remaster.
Let's do it, Frog.
Downloaded it, played it, and I'm gonna tell you my honest feeling. I honestly think that, and this is one of those things that is small. It's really minute. I think this shouldn't have been called remastered. I think it should have been called Director's Cut. And the reason I say that is because I have Last of Us 2 PS4 version, and I played the side by side sitting there, and I don't see a difference.
I saw some of the
I
side by
don't.
sides did.
I
Yeah.
I don't see a like when I say like without zooming in, I really can't tell a difference, except for the fact that I can run it at the 4K with the at 40 hertz, which Sony seems to do that a lot with like Ratchet and Clank and all these other games. But even then, when I'm running at 4K, I can't tell a drastic difference. The reason I think that this should have been called Director's Cut is because for people who already own it, for that $10 upgrade, what is it called? Left Behind mode, I think it's called. I think that's called No One Left Behind. I forgot what it's called, but anyway, that mode is kind of cool. But when I was playing that mode, I kind of felt like some of the stuff they added on, I kind of felt like this is not really the definitive of anything. This is the same.
Yeah,
to me.
You think?
In
Yeah,
my,
I haven't played
it's
it
the
yet,
same.
but
It's the same.
I saw the side by side.
It's the same PlayStation 4 game with a PS5 logo, and they added some stuff.
Thank God it's
and then
$10,
calling it remastered.
right? Not those $70
Right,
like the first one.
Right, and so I don't. Yeah, so my point is this.
They should have called it the Phil Ness edition, the Gym Ness edition.
I think that for them saying, hey, this is $10 grade if you already have it, fine. It's a director's cut. Remaster, I think remaster, I'm thinking like something drastically changed with the gameplay, not the gameplay, but the graphics and resolution and it to me looks like the same exact game. I'm not knocking that, right? I'm not knocking that, right? But from everything I played, I'm like, I don't really see the difference. It looks the same. Some of the costumes are cool that I can put on Ellie and Abby. Abby has this badass costume that I have with this leather jacket with the spikes, and she has like the makeup on the lips. Dude, Abby looks badass with that outfit. That outfit to me is how Abby should have been. That outfit is badass. But I kind of think that whoever's sitting there at Sony and saying, "Hey, let's remaster." You gotta stop with the word
made
remaster.
The interns do it. Remember, wasn't that the interns?
Right, you gotta stop with the word remaster. Just throw the word director's cut on there.
Just like you need to fix the word showcase too.
Right, and I think some of the wordplay here, like don't put remastered on something that's basically a PS4 version that you can play on your PS5. I get why they did it. It's still a good game. The Left Behind stuff I'm playing, I kind of felt like. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I felt like it would have been so cool if I could have played that with somebody and go through the towns and city. That would have been, because some of the things I'm doing, it kind of felt like this is some of the maps from the multiplayer. It kind of reminds me of that. Like, and it's cool. Don't get me wrong, it's cool, but I'm just like, oh, okay, I've seen what it is, I've played it, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like, if I've never played this game, never experienced it, brand new to it, amazing, right? But for me to have such a freaking, hundreds and hundreds of hours and then jumping back into this, I was like, wow, this doesn't really feel.
Yeah, I know. From the
this
images
feels like
that
the same.
saw,
it feels like the same thing.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet, but from the images I saw, I agree. Like, I think, they should have been called all they did cut. Was whatever did the resolution or whatever the hell they did. They didn't touch the textures or anything like that.
They didn't touch any. Yeah, they didn't really touch anything.
That they added. They added those modes and stuff like that, the skins. But again, yeah, it's a $10 upgrade. What did they do? I forget. What the Iki Island was $30, but that included the expansion, and it was an upgrade to the. What about the DualSense controls, like that thing? Remember, the Iki Island was $30 with the DLC, and they added the PS5 kind of edition to Ghost of Tsushima. This one, they just there's nothing there. This would have been perfect if they just charged $30 and added Factions 2 and
they added a lot of stuff that wasn't in the previous game.
There you go. That's what they could have did.
What was cool is like you got to play some of the sequences they took out and. And the director's like, they're talking you through what happened. I mean, there's some cool things, elements in there, but
it is $10
for them to say remaster. I don't really. Maybe I don't understand what a remaster is, but me, I'm like, I don't really see.
I see that whole director's cut thing, and also I just think they just brought it up to exactly what Jeff B. Gamer said. VIP grinder. Jeff B. Gamer says The Last of Us really is for remasters for the new Last of Us fans by the TV show, not for the people that played it already.
It's not for the, and I agree with that.
It's one of those things that came out the end of the generation. They already gave the 60 frames, and they gave a $10 upgrade for those that want it, and it kind of brings it up with the fit.
I'm not complaining too much about it. I'm just
set of features.
My little bone is like I kind of feel like
you don't
Sony.
Like the titling of it. You don't like calling it a remaster.
They throw remaster. They throw remaster on things. Right.
And you're right, because compared to the first one, the first one's a remaster. Like that's different. But
yeah, that's definitely a remaster.
Last of Us 2 is called
this
remaster.
One is not.
And it's not much different. So you're right. But again,
and I heard somebody say, "Oh, and you know, well, Demon Souls is a remaster." I'm like, no, it's not. I don't know. I don't think it's really.
Man,
that's a remake because you're talking about PS3 game on PS5 level. We're not talking about a PS4 game that was at the end of the PS4 generation.
Yeah.
They could still play on a PS5. They still look close to, it looks exactly the same as the PS5 version.
For Brizzle wants to
I don't know, like,
does it have ray tracing or 60 frames?
60 frames, yes, but you can play 60 frames. No ray tracing. So it does have 60 frames. It does say 60 frames. I believe it's
it is.
It's 14.
Oh man, here we go.
It's
but
14
remaster.
It's 1440. It's 1440p 60 from what I know, but the same is with the PS4 version. Is 1440p 60 from what I know. This is what I've been seeing. And when Digital Foundry, I finally looked at Digital Foundry's video.
Yeah,
and
they
verified what I said. They were like, they were basically like, this is the same game. This is the same exact game. The only difference is there's one section that it's locked 60 if you play it, and then if you turn VRR off, you can run the game at 4K 40 frames.
Let me ask you a question, Frog, and then we'll jump over
with the performance.
Let me ask you a question.
With the frame rate unlocked.
They updated the other game with 60 frames per second, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then they did the remaster on this one. Do you think that this remaster was, well, I guess we know because it was interns. Like, do you think that this remaster kind of was an afterthought and they didn't plan on doing this?
I think
with the success of the
let me tell you my honest opinion is,
and maybe the delay of the multiplayer, cancellation of that.
I think with the delay of the delay of the multiplayer and then the cancellation with the show doing so well, this was planned. They already planned to do this, and I also believe it comes to PC later this year.
I'm surprised it hasn't already.
It's going to come to PC later this year, so we're going to hear about it. But I think that with the show doing so well, it was like, okay, this was just in the tuck. It's like, here you go. Excuse me. And they threw this out there, and they gave it to the fans. Like they'd already bought it and said $10, and that's great. And the new people who wanted to play it, here you go. That's great too. But I just kind of look at this and say, okay, great. But
I guess my thing, great name, says the new bonus content stuff and modes are worth the $10. I like the new content.
No, it's no,
definitely worth it. Frogz just
it's
doesn't like the name. He don't like the name.
It's
remaster,
I just think
redo.
Right. I definitely think Director's Cut would have fitted better than Remaster. I'm not shitting on it by any means. All I'm saying is
I can't comment. But
when you sit there and you start messing around with it and you played as much as I play, you're like, oh, this is Director's Cut. Like, because they just added some things you didn't see in the first game they pulled out, and they added this mode, and it's really a Director's Cut. It really is a Director's Cut. Like, it's not a remaster. I don't see. I can play the same game.
So I get what you mean.
So like, and I mean, I'm not by no way crapping on it. I think $10. I don't have a problem. I paid the $10. I'm just saying. I think the name placement, Director's Cut, would have been a better. Last of Us 2 Director's
Cut. Just like they called the showcase last year, and it's just called the Spider-Man show.
Right.
So many needs to get their naming conventions right, but I just think it puts it in the same realm of the two.
Like this, Jazz. Like when they said Spider-Man Remaster, the first Spider-Man Remaster, that was a remaster from the original Spider-Man from the PS4. That was a remaster.
Your name is. Get ready for the big surprise.
That wasn't you know what I'm saying? Like, that wasn't a direct. That was definitely a remaster. This, you can tell, was a director's cut. That they were like, oh, we can basically put the PS4 game out there with a PS5 sticker on there and say it's a PS5 version, and add this, and that, and we'll call it remaster. No, it's a
they called it what they called it, and yeah, I see it. Well, I'm gonna get it and I'll play, but I agree that
no, you'll enjoy it. I'm enjoying
with
it.
remasters,
I just think that
I got you. So let's get into the wrestling.
It's just an odd thing.
This is exciting. Now let's get into some exciting stuff.
WW2K24. My son is going into Tampa to watch the big show they have here for WrestleMania. I think it's WrestleMania.
No, WrestleMania.
Royal Rumble. He's getting ready.
Yeah.
No, Royal Rumble. He's getting ready. Yeah, he's getting ready to watch the Royal Rumble. He got his tickets and everything.
Listen.
So we watch AEW over the holiday.
This is my man. If 2K got me, they get me at wrestling. I buy it every friggin' year. I buy the Ultimate Edition. This is like with 2K, NBA 2K said people, this is mine. I get wrestling games. I go custom. I custom characters. I fall for this. I love wrestling games. And now we got the release of the 2K24 and March 8th, early edition, March 5th. I'll be there on March 5th, early access, because, yes, that cover art is insane. All three of them are incredible. And I want a super special edition, man. They should have had this game, WrestleMania edition, that came with a friggin' wrestling ring. How awesome. I would buy that, damn. $150. Let's go. With like a WrestleMania replica ring, and like the middle opens up and the game box is inside. Let's give them ideas. No Mercy was my favorite. Oh man, I love No Mercy. I remember I took the man. That was a classic memory, man. I pre-ordered that game. I had a friggin' what was it? Anatomy test. Oh man, I had finished that test. All that memory of I think we were doing cardiovascular. Oh my god, I had to memorize all that stuff, and I got on the bus and went to the GameStop or EB Games and got the wrestling. And man, I played No Mercy. I was so hyped. But anyway, let's go to 2K. Finish your story. So the latest installment, here it is. So hotness coming in here. You got the standard edition cover, has Cody Rhodes on it. Awesome. The multi-time champion Women's Royal Rumble winners Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. Awesome on the deluxe. That one was good. Where is it? I gotta find it now. On that one. That is awesome. And then the 40 years of WrestleMania edition cover.
Now that cover was awesome.
Dude, I'm going to get them. Did they even have it on here?
That 40 years.
Where is it?
That cover. That 40 years of WrestleMania. I'm going to show you
these cover arts, man. We're talking about awesome. Cover art. We're talking about wrestling.
I would love to buy the physical copy of this game with just the cover art. That cover art is amazing.
Oh man,
with the Undertaker, Andre, it's just like that cover art right there. 40 years of WrestleMania is amazing.
Yes, where is the covers? Do they have
and then
them?
I just watched. I went and I watched the picture, and it had Hogan and Andre standing there, and was it WrestleMania 3?
Yep.
I watched that. I grew up watching this stuff live, on pay-per-view, and I was like, yo, I'll never forget that moment. Yeah, the covers are really
here it
good
is,
this
the official
year.
website. That's what I gotta go to. Let's see if I can show them. Here they are. These are the covers right here. So there they are. Awesome. Dude, that 40 years of WrestleMania, man. I want a poster.
That cover is... Yeah, I would love a poster of that. That is a...
They did some kick-ass artwork, man, for these covers. These are pretty awesome.
Yes.
Wrestling Game I Sleep.
That 40 years is really good.
So now the next couple of things they have in here, you're going to play through the most iconic moments in WrestleMania history. Their slingshot tech seamlessly morphs the gameplay into live action, which is pretty cool. Some scenes take too long. I remember from the other ones where you're watching too much of it, like the video, and you're not controlling it. But, all that stuff, that's what they do. Here are the new match types. They're doing special guest referee, finally, ambulance match, casket match, and the gauntlet match. And then Backstage Brawl now features 4 players and a new interactive environment, working elevator, breakable control room glass, and a vending machine with throwable sodas, while Royal Rumble now offers 8 players online and 30 superstar online matches. Their online is definitely a problem area, so I don't know about their online.
Yeah,
it's always been just a mess.
It's bad, but I know my son, he played the AEW, and he was like, man, this has some issues.
Dude, that was a mess. That was a mess online. They got War Games, Extreme Rules, TLC Submission, Hell in a Cell, and many more coming back. New weapon types, trash cans, guitars, microphones, throw weapons now. Even 7 real referees, so no more generic referees. They're going to have super finishes. They're going to have a trade mini blows mini game, top rope dive onto a group of opponents, which you could do that in like older games. Now they added that to this one, not last year's though. Double title matches, new paybacks, and much more. Assigned slots and finishes expand from 2 to 5. Stock 3 finishes, and you'll be able to use a stock to perform a super finisher that will make the opponent knock out. Oh man. That is so wild. New GM mode with championship talent, scout, superstar trading between brands, and then a My Factions mode with team building mode, which I really didn't get too much into this. I did the My Rise. I've done that, which is the campaign. But again, we did the Road to Phil Ness, if everybody remembers. We made Phil Spencer, and he took on the WWE Universe on that one. WWE Universe Sandbox, that's fun. I do the Universe mode, the Road to Phil Ness. You can have bank cash-in scenarios, brawls, new cutscenes for special guest referees, which is always fun. Loser leaves town stipulations and double title matches. Then the creations. This is where the real Phil Ness lives. The Crown Jewel, best in class, which they got to fix those servers on that. The create a referee, create a sign. New parts, animations. Creation will also do a quick save, allowing you to save your progress in the middle of creating a character. Well, that's good for all those folk. But man, oh man, I am hyped for wrestling. Let's do it. I know maybe some people aren't, but man, oh man, I can't wait for WrestleMania WWE. I'm getting 2K24 WrestleMania Edition, 40 years of wrestling. The road, we should do the Road to Gymnast. Yes, because it comes out right as his retirement party.
Road to Gymnast.
We should do the Road to Gymnast. And he'll have against Herman Holtz with the quality splits, put punches. I don't know. But to wrap up the final topic here, and I know it's late. Some people are going there, but you can listen to on the replay. Halo Infinite is getting rid of seasons. So, yeah. If you recall,
what does this really mean?
It means they're done. That's what I think. It means they're done. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Grinders of all, hit that like button. We're in the home stretch of the gaming grindhouse. The fires, the embers are burning now because it's Halo time. And we got something to talk about. So if you recall, just a year ago, our good friend here, Mr. Seasonality. You remember the issue that Halo Infinite ran into is that Halo was not being consistent with their seasons. Their season 1, their season 2 were 6 months. And then they said, we got to get back on track. And our good friend here came in here, and let's see what you had to say.
Not what I want to do. And so when we say a seasonality, like we want to get it under 20 weeks. We want to get it to 13 weeks. What they want, and we need to get it to them faster and with more consistency than we have. 2 seasons a year doesn't cut it. It's just not going to cut it. That's not what our players deserve. It's not what they expect. It's not what our team wants to do. It's not what I want to do. And so when we say a seasonality, like we want to get it under 20 weeks. We want to get it to 13 weeks. Ideally, we're doing 4 a year. We're not going to be there right away, but this is a service. And that is the number one priority that guides everything we do. Is like getting faster, getting that out there as quickly and consistently as we can. So that number one priority from a player perspective is achieving seasonality. And then we have these 4.
Here we are.
Yeah, we're really pumped. It's going to be a good year.
Awesome. Well, shout out. I know it's been a lot of work from a lot of folks. I've seen some questions in chat, and I just want to clarify.
This is now.
As we approach our January 30th release, basically people are like, well, what about season 6? Or why aren't we calling this season 6? We're making a shift in how we're approaching Infinite going forward. And for MCC players, it's probably going to sound very familiar too. The gist of it is that we're kind of no longer referring to seasons. We're shifting away from seasons. So semantically, for what it's worth, our January 30th update will henceforth be known as CU29. It just kind of rolls right off the tongue, right? It has a lot more marketing weight to it. But no, in all seriousness, it is kind of the precedent we've established with MCC. Yeah. And it's just it's a different shift in approach here. As we mentioned at the top of the show, this future updates are going to be punctuated by an ongoing operations model that will continue to offer 20 tiers of unlockable rewards for free on approximately a 4 to 6 weeks cadence. That'll kick off with Spirit of Fire when that goes live on January 30th. Also, just to make sure there's no confusion, everything else we showed today, most of the things we showed. So the Mark IV, I want to clarify if you're joining us late, brand new armor core, totally free in the game.
Completely free.
Just log in, it'll show up in the armor hall. It's yours to keep and adorn however you'd like to. You can now do that more and better than ever before, especially with the addition of cross-core shoulders now. So shoulders, helmets, coatings work across every core in the game. So that'll all.
You could change colors of your shoulder pads. This is what has become. Bro, let me ask you, how do you have a service game? And their number one priority a year ago was seasonality. Getting content to people, and now they are done with seasons. If you remember, the last season was the last one that actually had the story elements. They stopped making the CGI stories in the seasons. That was hint number one that seasons were going away. They got rid of the story elements to the seasons. They said, we're not doing that anymore. Now, they're getting rid of seasons altogether, and you could even hear what he said. It's going from seasonality, but listen to his little sly joke, but I think he's serious moment where he goes, the marketing. How do you market CU 29? Content update 29. It rolls off the tongue, he said. Well, obviously you know what it means. They stopped marketing it. Therefore, the service is probably kapushed.
Just kind of rolls right off the tongue, right? It's has a lot more marketing weight to it. But no, and also
exactly. It has marketing. No, he's exactly saying the truth. You can advertise season 7, season this. Seasons make it look like that you're adding stuff. How do you do that to a service game? You don't have seasons. They're content updates. There you are. And you want to know what? Content update. Let's look at the new map that they got coming out here. Look at this. Look at this. Like, where is the flood? Like, look at this map. This is their new map.
The customization lane.
Illusion.
Cool.
Look at this map. It looks like, look at this.
Center lane combat, but one thing that I love about this map is that you're kind of in this Oni research facility.
We're always in an Oni research facility. We're in all these metal wall arenas. Every friggin' map is like this. It's the same thing.
And then we'll get to the other side. It just looks
all
so cool
bland.
Kind of look at the storytelling elements of the map.
I'm a big fan of those storytelling vignettes.
I don't get it, dude.
A big shout out,
I do not. The inspiration for this game.
Have done some great.
I don't get it.
Some very creative execution.
You want to see something else crazy? I'm going to show you something else crazy. This is my favorite. Before I get off this video, look at this. This is their pass. Look how entertaining this is.
You can adorn your Mark IV to make it your own.
Look at these. Yeah. Look, right shoulder pad, left shoulder pad.
You mentioned it's a core, right? That means you can totally customize it. Now,
I just was in this game. I looked at these passes. I'm like, this. What is this?
Amazing. And we also have visor colors that correspond to the visors that
each one is a friggin' grind level. And they still have not introduced skill
which
leveling up.
The red visor kind of matched nicely with the Watchdog.
It's just play your game.
Coating.
Nice flex on your Watchdog coating.
Yeah. I had to show it off. I put the time and effort in. I get to show it off. But
sure, we'll grant it to ourselves after the show.
But yeah, Riz looks absolutely awesome with that Watchdog Neo, and then you have Vanek coming up here. I put him on a Yoroi because that EOD kind of just.
Yeah,
the board,
here's your battle pass.
So what
Whatever they call it.
Is
looks so good.
Just a quick pan.
Look
into, and this is the way that we will deliver, kind of ongoing every 4 to 6 weeks, 20 tracks of free content that players will be able to progress and earn as you see.
This is the free one.
Our next first operation to kick off 2024 is Spirit of Fire. Definitely some crossover vibes. We got a video here. It's rifling through at speed, but just giving you all a glimpse of just kind of what you can expect. I believe a lot of the cosmetic options in this.
Dude, they got freaking logos and look at this
operations pass.
Yeah, this is their season. Their premium pass. Knee pad, one knee pad.
as are kind of
an ass pad
geared towards
a visor color,
your Mark IV, but
a color jade canopy.
Given that we have cross-core,
an XP boost
functionality here across
jock strap,
the board, you're not limited.
A new color
to that, right? So
a shoulder knife that you can't use.
What you're seeing here is
look, now you get the right shoulder pad for the one that you got. So you run around with a shoulder pad for 5 levels.
Looks so good.
Just a quick pan of what's available.
I don't know what the hell's that thing? Is that a friggin' strap-on for your helmet? What the hell's this thing?
Subsequently, we'll have more details on the date.
Dude, it's the most boring battle pass I've seen. What
wires sticking out, and it just looks a little.
I don't understand this. Listen. I'm gonna tell you something. When I was playing this, I went back into it, Steam maps, Forge maps. They could have took Halo. So, they could have added elites. They could have added grunts. They could have added brutes. They could have added all the characters from the lore into the multiplayer as skins. $20 skin to play as a brute. $15 to play as Cortana. You could have done elites. You could have done flood. You could have done all these different elements. You have such a huge opportunity for content to inject into this game, and you are doing a shoulder pad, knee pad, jock strap, chest pad, ass pad, foot, helmet strap-ons, XP boost, an icon for your name, a little dangly thing for these are whole ass levels, by the way. Which, by the way, if you get Kilimanjaro, triple kill, double kill, MVP, you don't get any more XP at all than just completing the game. And it's still, to this day, if you just launch it, stand in a corner and win the game, you get the same amount of XP if you were running around, shooting everybody, grabbing flags, running over people, doing explosions, sticking people with grenades. None of that adds to your XP unless you select it as your dailies. Pest the headshot for 5. Still to this day, you get all these emblems. They don't add anything to your XP. Every game has that XP level, and they have not done that. And now, seasons are gone. Content update. They are sunsetting this thing. 10 years. They are sunsetting this game. They got rid of the campaign. No campaign DLC. What's his name's gone. Joe's gone. So there goes campaign. Then, because if you remember that video right there, where he, where is it? Yeah, tell him again, Joe. Joe's gone. Sort of Joe Staten.
Player priorities, I would say that dock under it.
This was September 2022. We're just over a year. It's done. Listen to this guy's ambition, what he's talking about this game. He wanted to make it a competitive shooter. People were upset for this interview because this guy, they wanted to focus on the esports aspect of it. And people went against it. They go, esports? Esports now?
Guide how we think about what we're prioritizing and the features that we want to develop. And
this was 22.
Some of those are, driven by what the team is really passionate about, but many of them are also being driven by what we very clearly see the players want and need from this experience and what the team wants to deliver for them because they care deeply about them.
Yep.
So the first one is we believe our players deserve a Halo Infinite where it's infinitely rewarding. So players need to be able to feel rewarded for playing no matter what they play. The second one is actually personal.
Well, there you go. Exactly what I explained. You could stand there in a corner or you could be MVP. You're going to get rewarded the same because it has to be infinitely rewarding. Now, where is he?
To the level that we all want it to be, before we can explore the other kind of nice to have aspects of the game. Joseph, I did want to kind of throw to you. I know primarily we're discussing these priorities through the lens of our free-to-play multiplayer service, but safe to say this is bigger than that. This is a studio-wide initiative and everyone's going after this.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, not only to go after this list of things that you talked about, which we're fired up to do, but to work on experiences that we're not quite ready to talk about yet. We have had to make the difficult decision not to ship campaign split screen co-op and take the resources that we would use on that and go after this list and all these other things that we're going to talk about in just a sec.
Let's talk about what is on.
Oh no! We suck again!
Listen, I don't know what's going on over there, but the turmoil at 343, Bonnie leaving, Joe leaving, they come onto these things like deer in headlights. Checklists, we got to do. Where were they with their vision? Where were they with this game? This is Halo. I don't understand how they let it get to this. How did the management there? They're sitting there reading over court documents, getting Phil Spencer to buy Call of Duty, getting all this stuff happening. And meanwhile, right under your nose, your biggest studio, 343, over 500 people deep, millions of dollars into your biggest franchise that identifies your platform, regardless of wherever the hell your platform is. Be it PC, mobile, I don't give a shit what you call your platform. Halo Master Chief is Xbox. And management allowed this to happen. We have had, I'm sorry, videos ever since we had Craig. And the fact that you made this game go this route. And now, after all these promises, Frog, that they made in 2022, all the seasonality, we're going to get you seasons. The dude lasted for 2 poofs. And now he's done his job. Mm-hmm. He was on season 3 right now. He did the winter solstice last year on 22. Then they did the season 3, season 4, and we're done. Season 5, we're out. Season 5 is the last one. Dude was able to do seasonality for 2 months. And what happened? Each season came out, it did a little blip. It didn't even do enough. It didn't get anybody back. Forge was supposed to change everything. Forge, look, you want to see what Forge did? Let's take a little sneak peek on what Forge has done. Frog, what do you think about this?
You know, and I also hate the fact that I've heard so many people that saying, well, the community is usually, and Forge is what usually makes the game. That's not up to the community. It's not up to the community. The days of us making a game, this is not Minecraft. Like we gotta hold these developers responsible.
No, Frog, I think it's the management. It's
definitely the management.
It is not these devs are running with chicken without heads. They left.
Right. They oh yeah, most of them left. And I definitely agree it's the management, but the gamers themselves too have to hold people accountable. We can't just say, oh, it's gonna get better. Like we can't constantly do that. And I've heard too many excuses. When PlayStation and Nintendo does something wrong, we tell them we don't support it, and guess what happens? They fix it because they know they won't survive if they don't. And I think in the same vein, Microsoft they don't hear enough of it because they've programmed too many of the people to say Game Pass is the best thing and da 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 da. I'm like, oh my God.
And Halo is everywhere, and they identify it as a service game. How do you expect a service to continue with CU29 instead of seasons and having that engagement there? You don't have, like, when you do Fortnite seasons, they have a whole story that pulls along people and all this other stuff. You got rid of that. Now you're getting rid of seasons. Now you're just content updates. So basically, you're just going to do just content. Like, that's it. Like, content updates. And he says, how marketable is that? The plan is that they're not planning to market anymore with them going from seasons to content updates. So I feel like they're sunsetting this thing. They're going to update it. They're going to add some stuff to it, but they're working on something else. Now, apparently, the Certain Affinity Halo Battle Royale has been nixed, has been canceled. So that hope is gone for Halo. The campaign for Infinite is done. They're not adding anything to it. And now you're just going to have this legacy product, and people are going to have to figure out Halo again. It's going to need a reboot. I don't know where they go from here. The other issue is because your campaign is wrapped up, and that campaign messed up all the previous stuff you built with Halo 5, Halo 4, the Didac, Cortana's Vengeance. You basically made Cortana a hero now. So I don't know where you go with that story, but that whole story in Halo Infinite screwed the whole lineup of where you were going to with this franchise. You got to say it was all. You got to pull out some Tupac. It was all no Big. It was all a dream. That's what you have to pull out. You have to pull out the Notorious Big. It was all a dream, and Halo Infinite never happened. Give me the rap. That's right. Like that's what it's gonna be. Yeah. Look at this, Frog. This is Halo 3 from 2007. The real map created by developers, and the Passion Project created by Unbroken Onyx in Halo Infinite 2021. They have to create their own shit because 343 is not giving it to them. And look at what they got to do. They got to have like shit-ass lighting, stupid forge tools, and all this other trash. And meanwhile, it doesn't even look as good as the version from 2007. Look at 2007. Are you kidding me? The one on the bottom is on the most powerful console and on PC. The one on the top is an Xbox 360 exclusive. What are we doing here? Look at it. It's horrible. It's horrible. And how? Halo is dead. I can't believe that there are people out there that accept this. That people that just go, oh, well, the community is pissed off. They've killed the community. Now, hopefully they could grab people back if they do something better, but they have taken Halo and killed. And guess what? They've done it with Forza. Not Forza Horizon. Hopefully they don't mess up 6. But Forza Motorsport, that base game, that's another apology. Crackdown 3, apology. Who knows with Fable? Playground Games could do it. Maybe they bring back Fable. But remember, Fable was on its last legs at the end of its generation. After Molyneux left, they could never capture the Fable again. After Molyneux left, after 2, Fable 3, they could not grab it. They were throwing Fable and Connect, where you wield your arms and shoot magic out your hands. Then they were doing Fable Legends. So the magic of Fable left with Molyneux. So who knows if they could capture that again. These are the franchises they identify with. You know, it's going to take a lot of money and a lot of marketing money to shake the itch, the perception that Call of Duty is Xbox, is Microsoft. Just like they can't really shake it from Bethesda. Do they really want to push that, or it doesn't look like it? Do they really? It's hard. It's hard to say. Starfield is now the same association that Halo has with Xbox. You're not going to do that. These are decades of Halo. This game was associated with your brand, regardless of what your brand is. And the fact that you let it just rot, and now seasons are gone. You cannot figure out the battle pass, the leveling up system. It's all done. Day 1 guns, still there. Day 1, we have no classic weapons. They added 1 gun and that lazy-ass map that they're adding. And another, the mark, they're adding, just throwing armor in there. Dude, I have so many better ideas than they had. I would throw elites in there. I would have brutes. I would have Cortana, Agent Halsey, Agent Locke. I would have Spartan Locke. Man, throw all those skins in there. Make it your Fortnite. You have, why are you sticking with Spartans and doing left shoulder pad, right shoulder pad? You imagine you release season 6 and, level 10 was friggin' Halsey, and now you're running around as Halsey, and level 100 is friggin' Cortana? People run around with Cortana with a gun? Hell, you're not doing anything with the campaign. Just do it in the Halo service game. Put all your characters in there. Let's go. You have so much lore. Floods, brutes, prophets. Dude, level 50, unlock the prophet. Oh, damn, you be running around with the prophet with a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Agents, all the different Marines that they had in the game. It's just insane. It's insane. It's such a missed opportunity. Agent Johnson, that's right, Josh. Agent Johnson. The Halsey can run around with a gun. I don't know. Who cares? We got the Hulk running around with guns in Fortnite. It's your IP. It's the franchise. It's the legacy. You have so much lore in this game. You could be injecting so much content fight on a Halo, fight all different types of Halo rings. Man, travel from one Halo ring to another one. Make the game change halfway through. You're fighting on one ring, then you fight on a spaceship. You all get teleported onto a spaceship, and the multiplayer continues. Cross-map multiplayer. Like, I got all these friggin' ideas that they could do to Halo to change it up and make it different. Imagine you're playing on the ground right here, and all of a sudden a pelican takes you about the halfway mark, and now you're fighting on a space station. Same level, same progression. Battlefield did it. Let's do it. But instead, they're like, oh no, we tweaked the shotgun because you said it was killing the people too fast. We scaled back the plasma rifle a little bit. We made logging into the rooms a little bit easier because people were complaining the wait queues were too... Dude, that sounds like some laundry list bullshit. That's not fun. That shouldn't be an update content. That's some background bullshit. That's what you do. You don't tell me, part of this update is that we tweaked the lobby so that you don't wait so long and you could select the map. Get the... What? Where's the fun, bitch? Where's the fun? It's not there. It's so technical. And the same thing goes for Starfield. We added the map. We're beta testing the Starfield update. What? That don't sound fun, bitch. That's not fun. Where's the fun? You want to add updates. It's not background friggin' laundry list fixes. No, we added some vehicles, but we had the new vehicles. We have new weapons. We have new fire effects. We added all this shit. Water effects, element weapons. Get them, grindhounds. How the hell am I sitting here just talking about shit that they could add, and I'm getting myself excited to want to play that game? I'm sure a lot of you will probably want that same thing. It's what the gamers want. Something new, something different. They got all this lore. They have all these things. They got all this money in the world. They're the biggest studio. 343 is not Ninja Theory. 343 is not a little passion project. They didn't start yesterday. They're not they're not the initiative. 30 people standing around looking at Venice Beach. They've been around. They're legacy Bungie. These are not inexperienced developers. Why do they look so incompetent? Why? Why do they look like they're just trying to wing it, figure out, pulling stuff away? They've been doing this. We've watched Halo Infinite fall. It even start high, it fall into just content update. See you 29. See you later, Halo Service Infinite. Content update 29. You can't even carry seasons in a game that you told us from its inception, years before it was released and delayed. This was a service game. And the fun starts on day one. That's when the real game starts, on day one. Just get it out there and we'll fix it later. We don't stop when we release it. That was what was told to us. The Halo fans. I complained about how this game was shown, how this game was handled before its release, and it came true. And it fell, and nobody talks about it. All these Xbox Demandos, Xbox podcasts, they don't even bring up the 4 words of HALO. They'll talk about Master Chief's ass in Season 2, but they're not talking about this game. And if you are Xbox fans, how do you not acknowledge what Microsoft and Phil Spencer and that dirty-ass, stink-ass booty did to the franchise that identified what Xbox was, and just let it rot? Those 2 videos I showed you were not just about a year apart, and you hear the tone. That guy's apologizing. We're going to fix it. Now this guy here, is just, yeah, see you update, not very marketing. He said it right there. And what he said, well, yeah, it was a joke, probably a joke, but sarcastically, he's like, yeah, our marketing is done for this. Like, we can't just come out and say content update, number 2. Content update 30. Like, he basically tells you right there, sarcastically, but it's the truth. It's the truth. This is what it's turned into, the depression.
We're kind of no longer referring to seasons. We're shifting away from seasons. So semantically, for what it's worth, our January 30th update will henceforth be known as CU29. It just kind of rolls right off the tongue, right? It has a lot more marketing weight to it. But no, and all.
Does that sound like it was his decision? Hit that like button, Grinders. Does that sound like he made that choice? Like, we are pivoting the studios and we're doing content updates now because we believe that will get you faster updates. Did he come out and say like that? Or did it sound like somebody tapped him on the shoulder and said, scrap the seasons. It's called CU29. It seems like the latter approach, doesn't it? Just from that. Seems like the latter approach to me.
Is that we're kind of no longer referring to seasons. We're shifting away from seasons. So semantically, for what it's worth, our January 30th update will henceforth be known as CU29. It just kind of rolls right off the tongue, right? It's a.
Mm-hmm. He don't look like. Does that look like an executive decision, or that looks like a visionary decision? The body language and statement right there tells you exactly. Booty went in there. They heard the music in the distance. Oh, shit, he's coming. Oh, no. There he comes. 2 coffees, 1 sugar. He's coming. They heard him.
Let me see that booty drop.
Here comes Booty.
Booty drop.
He shows up, hands out his frappuccinos. Booty goes in there and he goes, cut it out. Seasons are done. We are done. CU29. Hashtag CU29 grinders in the chat. There you go. That's what Halo's turned into. CU29. It is not even like 343 or Guilty Spark 29. No, these updates are called Content Update 29. Sounds like a very, very creative decision. Don't you think? Yeah. My point is, it's a sunset. Cut it out. It's not exciting. It's not marketing. He says it right there. Somebody that name starts with a B and ends with a Y and smells like shit went over there and said, cut it out. No more seasons. You will name it Content Update 29, and we go from there. Enjoy, bitches. Booty out. And Booty shook his ass, took his coffees, 2 sugars, 1 cream, and he left. That is an executive decision to say, stop drawing attention to yourself. All right? Cut the seasons out. We don't want seasons. We don't need to draw extra hype. We don't need season 6s and season 7. We don't need that. Just call them content updates. You can put it on your blog, and we'll call it a day. Thank you very much. Let's not draw attention to Halo. Right before the season comes out, too, on Paramount Plus, Master Chief's ass. There you go. Somebody tapped them and said, yeah. And you could see it. In their body language, you could see it in there. The other dude was like, yo, I'm going to fix this shit. Seasonality, bitch. Coming in there, smacking there. Joseph Staten's like, yo, we're dropping shit because I believe this guy. And that guy's gone. Where is he? I don't even know. He was talking a big game a year ago. Where is he? He's gone. They got this guy now with a new haircut saying, like, yep, now it's called Content Update 29. It's such a great marketing term. Like, dude, we know. We know. It is corporate. It is corporate. Collie, it's to cut it out. They're like, you know what? Yeah, we're not hyping up Halo seasons anymore. It's a friggin' service game. And look at every other service game. Battle Pass seasons. They basically, but Content Update 29, they took themselves out of the game. They were already out of it, but now they're making sure it never happened. And that's it. And then you go, well, you might hear that because Master Chief Collection does the same thing. Master Chief Collection was never a service game. It was a collection of games. It was a collection of games that were integrated, that had their battle passes and things on there, but it was never a service with content unlocks from playing the game. Master Chief Collection was exactly what it was. It was a collection.
Exactly.
There was no service game. So why are they big? Well, that's how we updated. And yeah, well, updated that because that is, first off, they should be like a content update friggin' 170 because that game was broke for 4 years before they decided to fix it. But right, Frog, Master Chief Collection is not a service game. So why are you naming the conventions of this service game that's free and it's everywhere the same way as Master Chief Collection? Like, it's sunsetting. Do you think? Stop drawing attention to Halo, right? It's just like kind of like, yeah, wrap it up. That's what I think. That where is it? Where's my
Phil Ness?
Exactly. We heard Phil Ness, and now that's it. What are they moving on to? What are they moving on to? How are they going to try to save this friggin' thing?
Stop! Enough!
Yeah.
Stop! Enough!
Goddamn, turn Halo into.
On their little goo goo gaga.
Goddamn, turn Halo into friggin' Goo Goo Gaga. Like, I'm just.
Goo Goo Gaga.
It is just such. I don't get it. I don't know how this company is celebrated. I don't know how Phil Spencer is celebrated. I don't know how they are celebrated when they let this happen to their biggest franchises. And I blame the management. I don't blame 343. I don't blame this dude here. I don't blame that dude over there. I don't blame Joseph Staten. I don't even blame Bonnie Ross. It is Phil and Matt Booty. They're the bosses that been there since day one. They oversaw this project. Slip Space Engine, they're the ones that let this happen because they are hands off, ass first. And who knows? The reason why is because this just didn't happen to 343. We just seen it happen to their biggest studio, the quality Turn 10. How the hell did Turn 10 drop Forza like that? With all those updates, and they pissed off their community. That is not a 343 problem. That is a management problem. That is Booty with his head up his own ass. That's what it is. And now they got that friggin' ass clown managing all of Activision and managing all of fucking ZeniMax. He couldn't even do 343 under his own ass nose. Redfall. After they messed up Halo, they proceeded to release Redfall with I'm sorries. Starfield with loading screens and I'm sorries. What? Like, this is not a developer issue. It's always been a management leadership problem because Satya, Tim Stewart, and Phil and Booty are fighting at the top trying to figure out games exclusive, games every. They're trying to figure out their bullshit cloud AI vision, and they're letting these studios right here rot to the core without proper vision, proper oversight, and ensuring the quality and managing that IP and making sure that that IP does not get disrespected and get thrown in the trash because it's going to be so hard to get that image back. Now you got to work 3- and 4-fold with whatever next Halo game you're doing to go, oh yeah, we're not doing that. Now you got to work double and triple to try to get Halo back into the limelight because you've destroyed it so much. And take a lesson of what you did to the Xbox brand. You destroyed that brand so much that you got to sell cajillions of games and big-ass games to try to even establish trust with gamers now. You just destroyed everything. What cloud, what AI future do you even plan on, dude? I have no clue. But the Halo rant, man, like I'm just, it's insane. How can you have a future in gaming when you destroyed all the things that identified you in gaming? How? What future do you have, Phil? What? What are you going to carry on 5 years from now? Redfall? Blade? What's carrying you? You talk about the kids. What are the kids going to play from Xbox, regardless of whatever system you're on? What are they going to identify you with? What? I have no clue. You have not established, other than Halo, what have you established with? What do you plan on the next 5 years and carrying your service with what? Gears? Kate's Story? They even messed up that whole branch. With Kate's Story and non-innovative multiplayer with Gears Online. They diverted that whole story there they turned it off into Kate's Story and people were just like, what? You want to play as Marcus and his son. And spoilers, his son could die in the friggin' game as a choice. I don't know how, the sidekick Dell or Marcus's son as a choice of death. Great. How's that decision going to carry over? Unnecessary decision in Gears 5. For what? It's just a who's there at the end. What does it matter? And how's that? Are you Mass Effecting Gears 6? Like, all of a sudden, now, if Dell dies, it's a new storyline. If Marcus' son dies, it's a different story. Like, what are you doing? Open world with the same animations that you use for running down hallways? They're running in an open world in roadie mode. Does that make sense, Frog? Make sense at all? They're using the same friggin' animation roadie run in open world. They're running like they're running to cover, but they're in open world. They're in the snow. Makes no sense. If you're going to make an open world, you change the movement. You change the make. Give Kate a hook shot or something. Like, do something. Instead of just, like, run around these open areas in roadie mode, roadie run. Like, come on, man. It's just disgusting what they've done. And what Xbox fans have allowed them to do and not say, and just accept it. And just move on to the next thing. Like, that's why it goes back to Frog's rant in the beginning, dude. It goes back to the beginning.
Did you also hear, well, I think it was the Halo, was the director, the writer, who was talking about, like, hey, if you don't like the movie, don't watch, or the TV show, don't watch it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's, and
he's already starting shit with season 2. Like, and season 2.
This is why it's dead. This is why nobody wants to watch that show.
I got one more thing for you to end my Halo rant. Over 200 people still hanging in here on a late night grinds, man. What an epic episode here. I had a rant about Halo. You want to see something here? Talking about your IP, right, Grinders? Please hit that like button because I got to show you something here that I watched, and I'm going to share it with you here. And where is it? I think it was in my history here. Let me show you this thing. I think it was a TikTok. Wait a second. Watch this. Talking about exactly what Frogz is talking about. Was that a short? I think it was a short. Here it is. Now, you remember how they did him dirty, right? Master Chief. By just having this dude show his face, right? And like
damn cheeks.
Yeah. Just taking off his helmet. Wait, I'm not sharing it. Right? Where the hell? Please. Yeah. Just a dude. Just a dude. Right? Now, this was in one season, one episode. Now, watch this. These are all, get these guys out of here. These are all the teases for Halo over the 20 years of Halo for his face in the game. All the times that we almost saw his face. His face is kind of a mystery. We've seen a few glimpses of his face over the years in various forms of media. As a child, in the Fall of Reach animated film, as a kid, at the end here, where they showed his eye. These are all the ways they teased it as a mystery. Comic books. Look at this one. They didn't even render his face in the PC version. Look. Remember this classic meme? And then somebody grabbed this from Halo 2 files. That is what the game has done. That guy ripped off his helmet and was just the actor. And then on top of that, you read about Fall of Reach when they describe his face. So Halo, what the hell was it? It was Halo the Flood. They describe his face as very pale because he's in the armor. He's been kind of Wolverined in battle and stuff like that and just built in cyborg. And you saw this. That is over 20 years of Halo games, the teases that they made for his face and media. And then they had this dude just show up on the first TV show and reveal his face. So you could see why. Then it was all out, man. He was just running. And then what they don't focus on is that this dude then just ran around the rest of the season without a helmet on. He put his helmet to go friggin' mow the lawn. He was running around, it looked like Mass Effect. He was just running around without a helmet on. It wasn't like one time he took it off and then he put it back on and he's running around as Chief. No. He didn't even have it on the whole time. Then, forget about it. Once the helmet was off, asses are out. That was Booty's favorite part, man. Booty loved that ass. His Chief was scoping his ass because friggin' Cortana was in his ass or something. I don't know what the hell was going on. Exactly. And it's like, here's a show, here's my face. If you don't like it, don't watch season 2. 20 years across all media, they teased his face just to be revealed as a plain old ass actor in season 1 of the TV show by Steven Spielberg. Tell me how that affects the people that even watch that show. And you've seen the drop off. Halo 2, season 2, Fall of Reach. Yeah, they're going to do Fall of Reach right. Dude was having sex with aliens by the end of season 1. I don't know how they do Fall of Reach correct. Laying pipe with aliens, Josh. I have no clue. But this, you don't even ruin your franchises on your own console with season update 229. But now, it's disrespect, everybody. That's what it is. Because you could tell it was this compilation here, it was a lore. It was a tease. What does Chief's face look like? What do we know? And 343 and Bungie, they teased it. They knew, they're like, maybe you'll see it, maybe you won't. And they just kept it like that. Just to have this act, like, you got to respect that. That was a thing in this IP. That's like making Kratos like grow a friggin' grow out hair and running around. Like, you completely ruin the character's identity. It's crazy. Like it's just like, you know, Master Chief's face thing was a thing. Like it was like, you know, and then they had this guy just drop his helmet off and then become Master Cheeks. And now he's like, if you don't like me without my helmet, don't watch season 2. It's like, oh shit. Whatever, we already saw your ass and everything else, so why not? Why even wear the Spartan armor? Just run around naked. Who gives a shit? That's where we're at right now with goddamn Halo. Their content update.
This run around Balls Johnson dance at this point.
That's right. What does it matter now? You don't give a shit about the Spartan armor. Who cares?
No.
Run around without a friggin' armor on. Who gives a shit now? It's Star Wars.
You got people want to run around dick swinging. I'm like, what is going on here? Like, we don't want to see this. Oh, we want to see it. You don't want to see it. Don't watch season 2.
Oh shit. Kratos rubs off his tattoos. Yeah, exactly. Like it's just such a disconnect. Because if Microsoft was overseeing this, yeah, let's not give them ideas, Niku says. But Microsoft was seeing, if they were overseeing this stuff, they would know that, hey, you know, the face reveal, that's kind of a thing. The fans that watch Halo really not into that thing. So, you know, it's been teased for 20 years across all these Halos and comic books. And we described his face, that line in the flood. Like, you know, that's it. Like, you know, and then first episode in, the guy takes off and then he's running around the whole season without a helmet on. It was crazy. Insane. But I don't understand that. And then you watch how they treated The Last of Us. How they gave appreciation to all these characters that we really glossed over in the game. And the fact that they gave them, yeah, maybe too much time, but they really, you know, added to the game. And they made it of their own by still staying respectful to the game. And that engages not only new people, but it also keeps the fans, the core audience, the people that are going to say, you got to check this out. Those are the people you need to take care of. You can't piss those people off because they will tell you, I used to like it, now it sucks. That's not the word you want spreading when you want to promote and get your thing in front of everybody. Respect your IPs, Neil. That's what you do. Man, Nintendo learned that lesson. How long since they made a Mario movie till they made the new one? They realized that, yo, dude, we're not making movies anymore because that Super Mario movie was not good for our franchise. And it took them a long time before Nintendo had the confidence to make a movie. And when they made a movie again, they made it exactly what the games are. And look at how the Super Mario Brothers movie did. They learned their lesson. You think they went back and said, okay, let's get John Leguizamo again for Luigi? You know what? Nope. When you bring your IP out, you need to make sure that the audience, that movie is a classic. No many times I watched that freaking Mario movie. I love it. Incredible. It should have revealed Phil. Dude, Phil Spencer should have been goddamn Master Chief. He takes off his helmet and they're like, Phil Spencer! Takes off his helmet and it's like, Phil Spencer cameo? Dude, no. All right, let's do it. Will there be a Phil Spencer cameo in Halo Season 2? Oh my God. Phil groupies will be going wild anywhere. You imagine if there's a Phil Spencer cameo in Halo Season 2? Now it's getting too late. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness great.
But I hope you leave enough room for my fist because I'm going to ram it into your stomach and break your goddamn spine!
Oh shit, imagine that. Imagine that.
Hold on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate. Oh no. Holy Spirit, activate. Holy Spirit, activate.
Dude, they will now. Phil's gonna show his cheeks. Booty's gonna be there. Dude. If they start cameoing Microsoft executives in the TV show, you better keep it right. You better come right back to this channel because we're gonna. It's not gonna. It's gonna be something you're not gonna want to miss. If I find out that they freaking have an executive like Phil Spencer or somebody like as a cameo, like as like. Phil will give Chief a gun. It will be like extra, and Phil Spencer's like one of the citizens of Reach. No man, maybe they'll get Bonnie Ross in there. Oh, no man. Phil kills the Chief at the end. Phil was the prophet the whole time. Oh shit, I can write my own season 3. Phil's the prophet. He's like, lights out, Chief. And then he'll say, never. Phil's like, never make a promise you can't keep. And it feels like, I do that all the time. Good time that goes to Chief. Goes, Chief, never make a girl a promise you can't keep. And then Phil comes in there, and at the end, and the last line is, I do that all the time.
I lied.
Oh, will that be the next Grindhouse poll? Oh my goodness. I gotta do it. Phil the Omna. Oh shit, it's good to late. Lulu Escotana. Oh man, we got a whole friggin' storyboard right here, man. The grinders love it. We're gonna have to do one. But anyway, epic show, man. We're over 3.5 hours. Holy crap. I had to get that rant in there. Frogz stayed in there for the whole time. Shout out to Link. Frogz, thanks again, man.
Yeah, I did.
Man, Frogz led us off with the rant, and I ended with the rant, man. We got the bookend rants. But hey, man, it is what it is. It's the Gaming Grindhouse. Hit that like button. We're on our way to 3,000 subscribers. Join if you're new. We got a bunch of subscribers tonight, a bunch of VIPs. I do want to just, I know those who stayed here. Let me see if I even have them up. I wanted to just shout out them. I got to get them on the leaderboard, but we're going to do the VIP grinders right here. And I want to shout out that we had the new VIPs, Play Beyond, B-Dog, J-Ro, Annoying Noble, Irate Volcano, Gamer NXR, Harlem PS Gaming, Compost Smurf, Sancho Fonza, and then the new members tonight. I want to thank all the VIP grinders for hanging in there and hanging in to the VIP Grindhouse. And shout out to you. I can't do it without everybody. But thank you again, everybody, for all the VIPs. But man, what a night. What a night. The Grindhouse is back. Hit that like button. Share it out, grinders. And we're going to drop it with our good old booty drop, because he's the one who runs the whole show. And as we go, grinders, let's shout out the Gaming Grindhouse. We heard it all night. He oversees them all now. He go wild.
Let's see that booty drop.
Stop! Enough! Stop! Enough! Stop! Enough! Stop! Enough!
Thank you again, grinders. Talk to you guys later. Hit that like button, share it out. Another evening in the Gaming Grindhouse. Stay warm, stay safe. Talk to everybody later. See ya.